like that because we.
Thank you.
Try to test and I'll check the stream.
Check. So welcome to Marine Park, pitch C. New York Diamonds, they take on Gujranwala Wolves, and what is expected to be the final stage game for several of this team. Quarterfinal happens a little bit later on, and then of course the grand semi-final and final tomorrow. So we want to welcome you to Marine Park out in Brooklyn, where the Big Three Labor Day Cup well and truly on. A lot of teams in this tournament. 16 teams made it to the starting line. We're coming down to sift some of the better teams in this tournament. Well put together squads, and many of the team. You look at New York Diamond, Advantage Prajapati, Trevon Griffiths, some of the top players, led by Adil Bhatti, minor league player out of the DC area. Kazam Shahzad, Bohan Saeed, Mohammed Bajwa, Abdullah Saeed, man out of Philadelphia. Randall Wilson, young talent out of New York. Omar Hanif, another exciting player. So we're all set here at Marine Park.
One second, I have to change the stream.
Yesterday I had my phone, right? So I just used my phone. You may have to there.
You have to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you will see the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yesterday I didn't have this.
But this is also a little bit more. It will give you partnerships, will give you a little bit more other than that. Because remember when we were school trip,
Oh, right.
go back to stuff that we want to become.
Umar bhai.
So it's a little bit of that, a little bit of this. They all have pretty much the same numbers. Lenny?
You'll be able to tell me that if you want to see a partnership, or when last we had a boundary, or scoring rate of the batters. Okay.
All right, hold on. I gotta take off the echo. Hold on,
I take off the echo, so it should be fine now because I had the reverb on. So hold on. So we're here. All right. So yeah.
If you're not mute, I still can hear you.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Our mics have. Okay, now let's try the other one.
So our mic have switches. So when we are not talking, we'll take off the switch. Let me hear. Mic check. Mic check. Perfect. Right, and it's good volume. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So how's it good? I will bring everything. You know what? Matthew. All right.
Also, we may not see it. They do replays, you know that. So when the shots are played, imagine it, and you will coincide with that. While we don't have our thing, give it like 3-4 seconds, and the replay comes in. Because you have to remember, photographic today.
Yeah.
I call it and then it will match it up. Trust me, I know. Adil, on the back end, they're doing the replay, right?
Nobody's doing replay.
Oh, no replay.
If I have to be here.
Okay, all right. So that's okay. Yeah. So what you'll see here I'll show you some other information.
This is luxury because yesterday I didn't have this one.
Your crit clubs will tell you the live score. This, like for example, I can come in here.
I have it here.
All right.
I can come in and show you some partnership. I can predict the batting order. We can talk about.
Oh yeah,
Who
this is
could
going to
be
be Houston
coming
all over again.
And
Fantastic.
we can look at all the bowlers who has overs coming up. Sometimes the thing is with cricket clubs, because the guy is busy scoring ball by ball, he doesn't have the time to really go back and check something,
Exactly.
even if you want to.
So
This
when,
will allow us.
when we do international games, it's called the fruit machine.
Yes,
We have the fruit machine from you.
yes. So anything you want to recheck back, we can check back. We can compare. Look, we can compare the two teams when they were at 11 over what they were batting.
Oh
You
yeah,
have-
that's mostly I'm going
have, yeah, you have a
This I can
Manhattan.
have it there.
You have a Warm, you have a Manhattan, you have everything here. A little bit for good reference.
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah, got it.
Manhattan, wagon wheel. I'm not gonna run a wagon wheel because it takes too much. A Warm and stuff will generate it by itself, so you have an idea as to what's going on.
Most
Okay, man.
people do partnerships.
So yes, so has will do first 5, right? He asked you to switch for now. No, he said you'll be here in case the thing goes off. Okay, so you grab a chair and.
Is he playing today?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think they're short. So grab a chair and sit there,
Here you go.
and then when 5 done, you're gonna come here. I'll sit there and watch the game.
New York Diamonds versus Gujranwala Wolves. We're coming to you live.
So you on switch when.
We're coming to you live from the wonderful Marine Park in Brooklyn. I'm Suhas Vedam, joined by Lenny. And it's immense joy telling this to you. Joined by Lenny. It's been a while, Lenny. Very warm welcome to the Combox.
Thank you, Suhas. Welcome to Brooklyn, New York. And welcome to Marine Park. Very historic park when it comes to local cricket in the New York City area. And this park here, in fact, this particular pitch, this is pitch number C. And this has been one of the premier streaming pitch over time. And the boys here, the organizer of this tournament, Labor Day Cup, presented by the Big Tree contingent, and they have done several tournaments over the years right here. So this is one of their top facility, good access to this place, and it's a place, Suhas, in which when you run a 16-team tournament, it allows you to use several pitches. As you can see, there are 3 right here, and there's about 4 on the other side, so 7 pitches in total.
Lenny, I don't know what it is about the stars getting aligned. Every time I cover cricket with you, we're always in a setup where there's cricket all around us, be it Houston, be it New York. Cricket all around us. And we were just discussing with Matt, whom you would hear in just a moment's time, that it's important to know which game you're a part of because games intersect, because the grounds are adjacent to each other, aren't they, Lenny?
So Zafar Khan will start from the Combox end. Quite delighted that tournament keeps coming to the Marine Park area. It's a hotbed of cricketing events. Trevon Griffith will be on strike. Vandej Prajapati along with Trevon Griffith out in the middle. Zafar Khan will start, Suhas.
Zafar Khan is going to operate with a slip in place. We saw very little swing when it was an early start. Would it be any different today? Zafar for the first ball. That's a very good length.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith, top player. Very aggressive, good left-hander, known around the country. Would have played for the Empire State Titans last year. And certainly when you play on the minor league level, it really, the whole country notices you. And Trevon Griffith in particular got a couple of 80s. Was one of the top players for the Empire State Titans.
He's got nice low hands, and I think it's an adjustment that he's made for the lack of bounce that at times can surprise the batter.
Yes, Suhas, and Trevon Griffith, speaking of that, has played a lot of cricket on this ground, this particular pitch. And so the conditions here will be quite familiar for him. And he comes out with Vandej Prajapati, how good he has been, how excellent he has been in this year's minor league. One of the emerging player, Vandej Prajapati. We'll get a chance to see him, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. You recently saw him in USPL as well, opening for the NJ Titans, scoring centuries for fun. That's just over the infield, and that shall do the trick. Excellent footwork by the fielder in the deep. Who says footwork's reserved only for the batters?
Yeah, just clearing the man a short mid-on. One of several fielders that has to be in the 30-yard circle. And Trevon Griffith not timing it well. And brings Vandej Prajapati onto strike. Diamonds having... did they win the toss? Did they win the toss and bat? Electing to bat top order. Very strong. And they've elected to bat Diamonds. They're one without loss.
Captain Adil mentioned that the prior games were in their favor, so they want to experiment a little bit so that come the bigger games, you know that the squad is not having players who are just on the bench, but they have game time behind them. So he's not shying from making changes today.
So not a bad start here from Zafar.
The thing about Vandit is that he's a very compact cricketer. You've seen a lot of Vandit getting starts and converting. What about him stands out to you, Lenny?
Well, I saw him in the USPL. Good that you mentioned that. And he played alongside one of the best in the country, Unmuk Chan. And if you had come to the ground not knowing who's Unmuk Chan and who's Vandit Prajapati, you might leave the ground thinking that the man playing all lovely, exquisite shots around the ground was Unmuk Chan. But you probably would have been wrong. It was Vandit Prajapati. Really, in that tournament in phase 1 of the USPL, outscored Unmuk Chan by a distance.
And sometimes that shows the class of the other person as well, isn't it? Taking nothing away from Vandit Prajapati, who's a tremendous cricketer. That Unmuk Chan did not match his partner shot for shot, but stuck around and did what the team required. Vandit Prajapati, slightly late on that one. I'll tell you what, he's very mentally strong, Vandit Prajapati. He was playing a game in USPL just a day after he lost his beloved dog. And he said, I am going to dedicate my half century to my late pet.
So 1 gone, 1 without loss.
Mohammad Ilyas is officially yet to get started in the books. No ball to start with. It's going to be a free hit as well. Lenny, when you're trying to warm up and get the rhythm together, you really don't want to give a free hit away.
Yes, Suhas. So free hit ball. Trevon Griffith will be on strike. Here is Mohammad Ilyas. Oh, smashed into the onside. No elevation, but he'll get a boundary. Probably looking for something bigger than a 4, perhaps a 6, but he scores a boundary. Good looking shot from Trevon Griffith.
Is early in the innings, he needed something which will allow him to free his arms, and that's exactly what he got. That was in the slot as well, just went through with it, extension of arms, and the ball went for 4. Now he's practicing how better he would have been served, hitting it straight down the ground, Lenny.
Yes, Suhas, and you had a look at one of the reasons that ball was called a no ball. It pitched outside of the matting. And what we have seen in modern T20 cricket and modern playing conditions rule in limited overs cricket, there are a lot more ways you can deliver a no ball than it was maybe 20 or 25 years ago. I remember in the 70s as Trevon Griffith into the offside, picks up a single. I remember in the 70s and 80s, there were probably a handful of ways you could bowl a no ball. Much of it was overstepping. But because of limited over cricket now, we have a height no ball. We have no ball, as we saw, pitching outside of the matting. You have field restriction no ball. There's so many other things that has come in. Too hard on the bowlers, you think?
Yes, because the ways of getting a batter out are not improving. They're still the same. It's good for the game that there was a petition that was passed that the bats can only get this bigger. Otherwise, sometimes the whole willow was a sweet spot. They were getting bigger and bigger, and the boundaries were shrinking and getting smaller. It's not a good planet to be a bowler, is it?
But the fact is, Suhas, the bowlers have caught up. Bowlers still would restrict batsmen no matter the conditions.
It's a poor delivery with fine leg inside the circle. It's going to run away for 4. This outfield's good enough. That's Robert's confirmation coming through.
Yeah, ball sliding down the leg side. Prajapati certainly punches on that one. He goes up to 4. He scores 11 for 1 in the second over. Mohammad Ilyas and Zafar Khan we've seen so far. Good start to the tournament from the New York Diamonds. They've won both of their games so far. On the other hand, Gujranwala Wolves have won 1 and lost 1. So very important round of games in this 9 o'clock session. So across the tournament, teams will be hoping that a win here will probably put them into playoff mode. And even if it's not also about the win, but they'll have to up their net run rate. We know when you play in this shorter zone, this shorter groups tournament, it all comes down to net run rate most of the time.
Just a chip over the infield. Zubair's after it. He'll get to Vandit. Felt like he didn't go through with the shot completely. A little half-hearted, Lenny, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps not too much pace on the ball. You look at Mohammad Ilyas, probably just gentle medium. A little bit more pace on the ball would have gone way over extra cover. We know the timing and certainly the class of Prajapati. And now fielder placed a deep cover. 13 without loss.
Now Ilyas is operating with third man inside the circle, fine leg inside the circle. So he can't stray down the leg side like that. But this one's more towards square leg. One that's called for 2 and it's fresh legs as well. Is one of the fittest in the side.
Yeah, he's not only a top batsman, but he runs pretty well. Was part of the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. And the irony is that when he got into that New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers team, don't know what happened, but they began winning. The minute he got into that side, along with Chandrapal Hemraj, they were quite a force to reckon with.
Well adjusted. This is good cricket all around. Still that single is stolen. Backup is not arriving. There comes the second run as well. Vandit Prajapati is so shrewd that he knew the throw would be at the non-strikers and started off late for the second run.
So 2 overs gone, 17 without loss.
Cheeky, but the misfield will cause it to run away. Perhaps it's taken a bit of pace, but the slope will contribute to the pace that the ball was lacking initially. It'll go for 4.
Yeah, Trevor Griffith loves the improvisation from time to time. And he's done that with a great deal of success. Saw him at Morrisville 1 year. Last year during the course of the minor league series, played a switch hit that went for 6. So he is really, it's not surprising that he comes up with those shots from time to time. 21 on the board.
Excellent delivery. Was dancing down the track to send it sailing straight down the ground. It's something that he was practicing in the previous over as well. He got a boundary on the leg side on that occasion. This time the bat had to come through straight. This is much better bowling as this one sneaks through and good collect by the keeper.
Yeah, Zafar Khan, he's one of the good bowlers around here. And I think because of the angle that he brings to the table as a left-hander, does get the angle a lot better than a right-hander. We all know that. And Trevon Griffith going for a massive strike, missed the ball completely.
Slightly slower this time, but not one bit as quick as it gets to get to the other end. Change in gloves, perhaps.
And Suhas, you look at this team. New York Diamonds is a top local franchise team. Always put together some top players. And Gujranwala Wolves. The reason why Gujranwala Wolves may be in this tournament, they were the winner of the Pakistan Super League of the USA that played right on this facility, along with the likes of Omar Farouk and the other players. They did well in the Pakistan Super League of the USA. So probably they have earned that distinction and that right to play in this tournament. Here they are.
In the East, the window that the teams get to practice cricket and preach cricket and enjoy cricket is slightly lesser compared to other parts of the country. And the fact that they make full use of it with tournaments like these is a treat to watch indeed. One that's got to help it along its way. It's a poor delivery from a man who's delivered a beauty early on in the over. And both these batters are trusting the outfield as much as their own selves.
Yeah, buys a signal from umpire Pernell Charles. It's a ball going down the leg side, eluding the keeper. Might have, not too sure. So 26 on the board.
Elegantly done. Vandit Prajapati is one of the quickest when it comes to putting balls away on the leg side. Excellent shot over deep backward square.
Yeah, lovely shot again from Vandit Prajapati. They're off to a quick start. They're going at 10.5 runs, pretty much an over 30 on the board. Good start here from Trevon Griffith and Vandit Kumar Prajapati. Ball sliding down the leg side. This over's gone for quite a few. 13 in this over so far from Zafar Khan. And the Diamonds, they're off to another good game, having won their opening 2 games. One of the top teams in this tournament.
Zafar is not sticking to his strengths. He's got the ball outside off. This is much better. That was in the air for a brief moment. Not very far away from point. Vandit wants the second run just to provide some glove love to Griffith because the ball's already run away. What a way to end the over.
So 3 gone, 34 without loss.
Fahad Kabir would roll his arm over. The captain trusts that he can provide the first breakthrough, and they need to do so very quickly here. 1 brings 2, Lenny, and we've seen that many a time, especially in the first 6 overs. When you try and attack too much, after the loss of the first wicket, the second one falls quickly.
Yes, Suhas, but so far 34 on the board. Very good start here for the Diamonds. They're going at 11.3 and over. Both batters out in the middle. Trevon Griffith and Vandij Prajapati has had some bit of knock in the middle. Already, both of them would have found the boundaries.
It's a warm-up delivery. And some warm-up for Robert as well.
Yeah, Robert Foster comes out of Jamaica. Pernell Charles, one of the few female umpires around the circuit. And as in the case of Robert Foster, he's a constant fixture on this side of the country. Spends his summer in the New York City area doing umpiring and then goes back to Jamaica.
Very good delivery. Now this is much better. In fact, this was exactly the delivery he was aiming for first ball.
Yeah, Fahad Kabir comes in here. They're going at 11 runs and over. So any over that he bowls, for example, if he bowls an over that goes for 10, in context of T20, we might say that's not a good over, but what has happened here, that'll be a very good one.
It was climbing on him. Fielder in the deep is gearing up for a catch and will pouch it. That's the end of Griffith. The ploy has worked. The plan has succeeded. Slightly short when Griffith didn't expect it. The lone man standing at a very wide fine leg will pouch the catch.
Yeah, excellent catch from the fielder out in the deep. Trevon Griffith just helping the ball into the long side. And in the end, he falls for 11. It's 35 for 1. Trevon Griffith is gone. Fahad Kabir comes up with a breakthrough, and it comes in over number 4. 35 for 1.
The captain walks out. Adil Bhatti is inheriting a scorecard which has provided a good start, and Vandit Prajapati is looking good at the other end. Trevon Griffith wanted to up the ante. It was more of a reaction shot, as it usually is with a hook. But fielder in the deep was so well placed that he didn't have to move an inch. The ball came to him.
So Adil Bhatti, Empire State Titans man. Before that, the DC Hawks player. And Suhas, a player who would have played several international matches for the US 10-15 years ago. Adil Bhatti, very solid player, comes out of the DC area. He's a man that's plied his trade popularly in the New York City area. DC is just about 4 or 5 hours from here, so in terms you ask many cricketers, that's just a couple hours driving away, and they love to travel back and forth between DC and New York. Good exchange programs.
Very proactive from the keeper. The throw was already on its way before the batter was looking at the umpire just to see if the arms are spreading. There was something on it.
Yeah, they're still going at 10 runs and over. Adil Bhatti comes out at number 3. So this is the 4th over in place. Diamonds have won the toss, electing to bat. 2 wins over Pak Punjab and Rebels in the tournament so far. And a win here will certainly put them in contention for the playoff stage.
Doesn't have to chase it. That one too wide. Robert confirming it. tell you what, now the slip has been removed. I think the captain wanted to see if the ball's moving today in the morning. That's not the case. You suggested we're having a dry summer as well, so moisture in the air, the content's very little.
Yes, so has. It really has been a dry summer. We haven't had a lot of rain.
Did have to go with this one. A little misfield from the keeper himself. Didn't collect it. Vandit was interested in a single.
So not a bad over here from Fahid Kabir. We've seen a couple of wides, but you can't discount the fact that he's picked up the important wicket of Trevon Griffith. Top player Trevon Griffith is. So relative to that, this is another wide, but relative to that, Suhas, perhaps you can't put a price on a wicket, and I wonder what a wicket cost. And if your bowler is giving up 3 wides in the over, you reckon he'll come better at some point. He'll get the over through, and we'll have to wait and see. Even if the remaining 2 legal balls goes for 2 sixes, Suhas, would you trade that off to the wicket of Trevon Griffith?
Or for the form that he was in, why not? He's got to be better than this as far as control is concerned for Kabir. Half an over of wides here. Again down the leg side. What it does to the bowler as well is that he gets a little tired. It's a long run up. When you run in for 9 times, 8 times, your body's used to 6 times for sure.
And the interesting thing, Suhas, whether at the local level or whether any level or even at the international level, we've seen bowler struggling with control.
Straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. It's captain Rizwan Akram himself. Yeah, the over will eventually end, but an important over in the context of our Gujranwala Wolves as they pick up Griffith. 37 for 1. Adil Ahmed will roll his arm over. And the captain wants wickets. At least a couple more to put the brakes on. They've done well by picking up Griffith here, the Gujranwala Wolves. Vandit would be the next big fish.
So the 4th bowler being used, Adil Ahmed.
Left arm orthodox. It's a very good delivery first up. He was absolutely clear that he wants to keep it a little wider from what the range is for Vandit. And he's also kept a very, very wide long off.
Yes, Suhas. Couple of balls, couple of dot balls here. Limited over game. 20 overs, 120 balls. And every dot ball that is bowled, it puts some bit of pressure on any batting team. 94 balls still to be bowled. Good start here from Adil.
This time is flirted too much with the wide line. But the idea seems to be simple. 9 extras, Lenny.
Yeah, mostly wides. We've seen 4 byes also.
Excellent control. Still that single is stolen. It went rather quickly to third man inside the circle. Still that single is stolen.
Yeah, good bowling here from Adil Ahmed. He's forcing the batsman to take risks. Running sharp singles are risked. How many times we've seen batters getting run out, one way to get out
Slip in place there.
because the bowler has put pressure on the batsman, soaking up a couple of dot deliveries, as in this case. And you're right, slip in place, why not?
Adil Adil contest begins. Excellent delivery. When was the last time you saw a top order batter leave it like that? Because it's the hint of swing which will trouble him. And for the outside edge to play on his mind, there is a slip deployed as well. This is good captaincy from Rizwan Akram. Swept away nicely. There's no protection. Deep backward square. Excellent shot. And Adil's going to reconsider that length as well, because Adil has the sweep shot in his kitty.
That's a good looking shot from Adil Bhatti. Took it from off stump, turning away, but he got to the pitch of the ball and swung it away through the onside. Good looking shot from Adil Bhatti, 43 for 1.
For an over that started off rather well, Lenny, just one wide, and that too we can accept that because that was because of the attempt of bowling something which is flirting with a wide line. Because you have a very wide long off, you want the batter to go inside out, especially earlier, and try and get him catch out. But here is Adil, who has struck it very cleanly and played one of the most unorthodox shots as well, a sweep shot.
Yeah, we saw an over from Fahad Kabir that just went for 3.
He's tried it again. This could be trouble. Little late to move. Sideways is not going to be easy if the fielder at square leg will not get there in time. It's going to cost 2 more runs as well. You've got to say that the fielder at square leg could have been a little quicker because he was a little late to react and get started. And that might have cost half an opportunity to Gujranwala Wolves.
Yeah, good over here from Adil Ahmed. Finishes off his first over that went for 8. Still a very good one, 45 for 1 at the end of 5.
Five overs gone, 45 for 1. I'm Suhas with him, joined by the voice of New York cricket. Matthew, very warm welcome to the Combox.
Pleasure to be back with you, Suhas. We met up in Texas, and now we find ourselves
You visiting our part of the country here in New York?
And you've been very
45.
gracious hosts, let me tell you that.
Well, that's always a great sign. We always love having anyone come to New York. See that there is a lot more to offer here in New York than others may think.
Oh, very good stop by the keeper, because that rose. Vandit was still going after it. He wanted to play the scoop. Rather, he wanted to play the ramp. Vandit's expecting that ball to be called a wide. It's 1 for the over.
What a start it's been for the New York Diamonds. Vandit, Prajapati, Trevon Griffith getting them off to a fine start. They've been helped a little bit by 11 extras.
Oh, poor delivery. He just had to swing the bat with all his might. That was asking for trouble. The only question is if it landed beyond the fence or just before it. It's the latter.
Yeah, that was a poor delivery from Fahad Kabir. Vandit Prajapati brings up the 50 for the New York Diamonds in some bit of style. And in T20 cricket, in any format of the game, batsmen will always look to take on deliveries like that.
And finally, inside the circle, it was a freebie, wasn't it, Matt?
And a player like Vandit Prajapati, who is already attacking enough as he is.
Yeah, Adil on that occasion, of course. Adil is the taller of the two as well. So even if it bounces a little more, he's better prepared. Where was this ball hiding? This is the perfect delivery. confusing the batter. The right length for him to be camping on the back foot and suddenly realizing the ball's quicker than expected. That would have kissed the outside edge any other day, Matt.
Yeah, better delivery from Fahad Kabir. And Adil Bhatti coming up the order a little bit. Usually player that we see more towards the middle, lower order, that can come in right at the end and can give you 50, 60 runs in the last 5 overs.
Just a bit of edge, but there is a straight third man. As fine as it can get. We'll keep it down to a single. Now Fahad Kabir is bowling some excellent deliveries and interspersing them with poor ones. One which is bouncing but not well directed was smashed away for a 4. And then this one, a very low full toss, slightly wide. His plan is to bowl a slightly wider Yorker. Probably wants to get into the death bowling mode. The question is, even if he would have implemented it to perfection, there's no one protecting the boundary rope in the deep on the offside. There's a wall on the off but inside the 30-yard circle. And just like this, the inside-out shot will grant him the boundary that he wanted. The fielders can try their best, but the outfield is going to help the batter, even if it doesn't come off from the best part of the bat. Another boundary in the over, this time for Vandit.
Yeah, and you mentioned everyone on the offside being inside the 30-yard circle. Vandit Prajapati realizing that Fahad Kabir is still going to go right outside off, or at least that's his plan. Prajapati realizing he's got to clear the inner fielders. That's exactly what he's done, and now we see a man being posted right at the fence. And the thing is with Fahad Kabir, you've got to be very consistent in T20 cricket.
Absolutely, Matt. Oh, he has danced down the track and taken him on. That's flying away into the fence. That could have been 6 on the adjacent ground too.
And it's gone upstairs in the end. Vandit Prajapati, more than equal to a short delivery from Fahad Kabir, ends the over in style. A very good one for the Diamonds again. It's 61 for 1 after 6.
"61 for 1, and Adil gets his second over. Created half an opportunity, to be honest. If the fielder at square leg would have been slightly quicker, the result could have been very different. Adil will continue. Now that the restrictions are lifted, he'll get more cushion to be posted in the deep, don't you think so, Matt? And what do you think would be the field for someone like Adil bowling to Adil, who has already shown that if he wants to induce a field change, he will play the sweep shot?
Yeah, definitely. He's thinking perhaps of how to contain this New York Diamonds, and getting out of the power play was one step for the Gujranwala Wolves. Just see through 6 overs, but when you look at what those 6 overs have led to, it's led to 61 runs for just the loss of 1 wicket. So it'll be very key for them to get their field placement right. And at least for a bowler you mentioned like Adil, try and force a shot out of Adil Bhatti that he may not have wanted.
Slight adjustment made to the field as fielder at backward points gone into more of a third man inside the circle, but as square as possible location. There is a conventional point in place though for Vandit. It's going to be wide. And there is a deep point as well. Hence he's trying to turn it away from the right-hander and providing that width. A deep point and a very wide long off. That's the offside fence for you. Excellent delivery. This was quicker than expected for Vandit. Now we'll take that single. That is something that Gujranwala Wolves need to reconsider. Be there 100% at all times. He was away with the fairies.
Yeah, fielding will be very important here for the Gujranwala Wolves. It's been tough enough as it is. You don't need to concede extra runs, which they already have. They have given up a fair bit.
Good delivery. Once again, great adjustment. The batter as well was going deep inside the crease with Vandit. It's always a question of is it going to be 2 or 3 because he's so quick in getting the first one that you're almost tempted to get the second one as well as a partner running with him.
Yeah, Vandit Prajapati very quick between the wickets. And he's in good company with Adil Bhatti. And that's the thing, running between the wickets requires 2 people.
In leagues around the area, he's known as Chota Hulk. Chota is small and Hulk everyone knows.
This is a very good over here from Adil Ahmed. When you look at the context of how things have gone for the Gujranwala bowlers, it hasn't been easy. But Adil Ahmed has come in and has really slowed things down, at least in this over.
He cuts it from deep inside the crease and still has enough time to get to the other end. This is great running between the wickets. That's what we've seen in this over. And that sort of allows some breathing space as well. Otherwise, Adil will be after you at all times. Look how quickly he finishes the over as well. The ball's hardly left the 30-yard circle. Not on that occasion. That's cut well. Work to do for the fielder at point, but the ball looks like it's going to win the race, and it will. 4 collected. Just slightly wide and 1 mistake and it costs him a boundary. Adil doesn't miss out on the opportunity when he gets with Adil. He's got to reconsider that line as well.
Yeah, a bit too wide on that occasion for Adil Bhatti, sensing the gap. And cut that one away perfectly. Split the 2 fielders. And as we've mentioned all day, this outfield is always a challenge for the fielders chasing.
Very well bowled. Just slightly quicker, ensuring that the batter is deep inside the crease and the ball hurries on to him. A dot ball to end the over, 70 for 1. Fahad Kabir, the first ball being a single. No, the spinner has been introduced. It's not Fahad anymore. The spinner has been introduced. That should have been stopped. Misfield on 2 occasions, but still the third line of defense will ensure it's not a boundary. You don't get to see this very often, do you? Very well played. Bandit's running between the wickets would be talked about today, apart from the fact that he hits some cracking shots on the leg side. Even though he's deep inside the crease, the transfer of weight is so elegant to watch that he covers 22 yards with ease in the end. Captain Rizwan has got to try and pick up a wicket here with more protection in the deep. He did not introduce himself in the first 6 for a reason. He loves it when the batters come after him. So well floated. That's a perfect delivery. A captain to the captain.
First one was dot.
Adil wants to go for that big sweep shot once again. Pulled out of it. But this should do. We'll wait for the umpire's signal. Yes, it is a boundary. I still am wondering, even though he pulled out of that sweep shot and decided to just close the face of the bat at the last moment, he got it so fine. And for 4.
Yeah, still managing to find the boundaries, even with the field out, the New York Diamonds, which shows the quality they've got. Vandit Prajapati and Adil Bhatti. Partnership of 42 between these two. Both have contributed well to this Diamonds innings. We'll just push this one away for a single. Vandit Prajapati always looking to challenge the fielders. Even if it doesn't seem on, you never know it. Prajapati between the wickets. That occasion sent back. 78 for 1 after 8 overs.
$78 for 1 after 8. It's a good start. It's the right kind of start when you're looking to accelerate through the middle overs. Well, he got the width on offer. Inside out and over the parks that you would require to get 6. We'll wait for the umpire signal though. It looks marginal. But from the angle that we are sitting, it looked like it traveled the distance. There comes the confirmation. 6 it is. Charles suggesting it's 6. It's a very good shot. That's the problem when you miss your mark.
Yeah, and on that occasion, Adil Ahmed, not the greatest of deliveries. Adil Bhatti, we've seen how attacking he's been when there's been width on offer. A very strong offside player, has gotten very good reward. So a player like Adil Ahmed, you've probably got to try and get a lot closer to his body.
Straight down the ground. Long on's interested and will pouch the catch. It's Adil who has the last laugh. Salik Iqbal completes a terrific catch indeed. He believed that he can get there and then the balance to have pouched it. Wickets are coming at the right time for Gujranwala Wolves.
Yeah, Salik Iqbal, one of the top fielders on this Gujranwala side. And I made the point, Adil Ahmed had just had to try to get a little bit closer to Adil Bhatti, make him hit into the leg side or make him hit straight if he wants to. Don't allow him to get any width on that occasion. Adil Bhatti looking to hit straight. But a very good catch from Salik Iqbal. Not an easy catch at all. Had to put in a lot of running. And then the dive at the end. But as I said before, Salik Iqbal, one of the safer fielders on this Wolves side, was always the main man that you would want to take catches like that. And he made no mistake. 84 for 2. Adil Bhatti walks for 28. And it brings Abdullah Saeed out to the middle. And with every new batsman that walks in, it just emphasizes how strong of a side the New York Diamonds is. If you have a player like Abdullah Saeed coming in at number 4, that shows the firepower that this team has right at the top of the order.
A bit like a tank, Abdullah Saeed. It's not every day that you see Vandit looking minuscule. That's going to be Abdullah Saeed and Vandit, and you've got to expect some powerful shots. Adil knows that, and he's already had the last laugh. He knew he was hit for a 6 when he provided width. Kept it straight. The captain of New York Diamonds, Adil, went for the big shot and an excellent catch. To be honest, Adil is a very quick learner. Yes, there were a couple of mistakes, but look how quickly he rectifies them and goes that extra distance to have converted that into a wicket as well with the men at the right positions. The long off is as wide as it gets, but long on was straighter on that occasion. It's going to be Vandit facing because this game is played before October. Once the new rules come into effect, would have been the new man in facing the first ball for this on this occasion. For Vandit, it's a very wide long off, very wide long on. Interesting choice. Oh, what a delivery! It's very rare that a bowler thinks, why did it turn, and he's a spinner. Half an opportunity, perhaps?
Maybe. But Adil Ahmed, just that wicket giving him all sort of confidence at the moment. And you feel he has been one of the better bowlers today. And again, keeping things tight. It's so remarkable what a wicket can do, especially the wicket of Adil Bhatti. All of a sudden, it puts Adil Ahmed and the Gujranwala Wolves right back into the game. They've kept Prajapati quiet for a few balls now.
Flighted a little too much, but he's got the protection in the deep. This is excellent bowling. He understands the field like the back of his hand. 7 runs have come off the over with a ball to go. And this man's comeback will be talked about for a while. Gets hit for a 6. Rectifies his mistake. Makes the batter play a straighter shot. Right men for that occasion as well, who can cover ground quickly. At long on and long off. And picks up a wicket. 2 dot balls to follow after that. Now a single, 7 runs of the over. And that's all it shall be. 7 runs and a wicket. Adil Ahmed has brought Gujranwala Wolves back into the game. There was a moment where the batters thought, let's pick up a single. But that would have been pilfering a run and at the risk of a run out. 85 for 2 after 9. $85 for 2. Captain Rizwan Akram will continue. Slight change in the offside field, especially the one patrolling the boundary rope. He's got a sweeper in place. Very wide long off, a wide long on. That's been the trend today, Matt. Wide long off and long on. And a man at deep mid wicket. Oh, that's close. Big appeal. The bat face turned quickly. The best part about our game is the appeal comes in from a sweeper in place and a very wide long off.
Got to go up for everything regardless of where you are sometimes.
Sometimes I feel, yes, the rules of the LBW, everyone knows that, but I think the decibel levels also contribute. Much better. Slows it down. And Bandit has played it right under his eyes. That's a shot that you'll be very proud of in the biggest, longest format of the game. But it has a place even in the shortest, and it's good to see for the game of cricket. That's only if you can hit the next ball like this. Behind square, there is protection. Fielder scurries across 20 yards towards his right to keep it down to a couple. The throw will arrive in 3 bounces, but the second run will be complete by then.
Vandit Prajapati carrying on very nicely here. 37 from 27 deliveries. Consistency. Consistency has been the word to describe Prajapati. Very good over here from Rizwan Akram.
Beautifully played. Oh, this man's threading it through the gap, and he gets an outfield of this kind. His efficacy rises to such a good extent. Akram's not happy because he thought that should have been stopped. The margin of error is just diminishing as Vandit is getting into a great touch indeed.
Another boundary off the bat of Prajapati. 41 from 29 deliveries. 6 off this over so far. The spinners have had a fair bit of success. We saw Adil, and now we're seeing Rizwan Akram. Despite going for 4, the rest of the over has been pretty tidy. And given the Diamonds are going at 9.2 and over, the spinners have slowed things down a little bit because they were going at 10 and 11 right in the power play with the paces.
What a fantastic ball to finish the over. Quick when you want it the most. 91 for 2 at the end of 10.
So 91 for 2 at the halfway stage. Quick start here for the New York Diamonds as Suhas leaves the box, and we are joined by my dad Lenny yet again.
Yes, Matt. This Diamond team continues to play well. Couple of wins in the tournament already. Abdullah Saeed, he's only faced 1 ball, but we've seen a very good knock from Vandit Prajapati. What a summer this man is having, Prajapati. During the course of the USPL, then on to minor league, and now he's back at the Labor Day Cup in Brooklyn. A top quality player. Abdullah Saeed will be on strike.
And there is just so much to love about Vandit Prajapati.
So Abdullah picks up his first run and brings the equation down to 59 balls still to be bowled. And you get the feeling, Matt, with 59 balls to be bowled, lots of wickets intact. You get the feeling if Prajapati can score a half century here, very important milestone personally for him. If the Diamonds will kick on. Oh, what a shot here from Vandit Prajapati. And he'll pick up runs here. Could have run away for 4. And look at that, they come back for 3. One of the odd looking shot, but very improvising. And he picks up 3 runs.
Oh, peach of a ball from Adil Ahmed to Abdullah. And Adil Ahmed getting his full 4 overs very quickly, and rightly so. He's been the man that has made things happen.
So shot in the offside of the bat of Abdullah. Will only get him a single. A single that brings the score up to 96 for 2. They've lost the wicket of Trevon Griffith and Adil Bati. Griffith went for 11. Adil Bati went for 28. Powerful put together New York Diamonds. And Matt, they've been around these local tournaments for some time. They have done well. And in this tournament so far, they've won their opening games. And they're up to 96 to 2, batting well here. So ball guided into the offside. Adil Ahmed has bowled well. We'll talk about that when we come back. 11 gone, 96 for 2.
So Ilyas comes back into the attack. Just the one over from him previously would have gone for 16. And pace reintroduced. Bit interesting by the Gujranwala Wolves, given the paces have not done extremely well. It's been the spinners that have really pulled this game back from what was 11 and a half and over. Has now come down to 8.7 thanks to Adil and Rizwan Akram. So a bit interesting to see the pace coming back.
And Matt, they're coming in to bowl to Abdullah and Prajapati. And we know Abdullah loves pace on the ball. A man who's played so many games on this facility, Abdullah Saeed. And he's a top quality player, loves to hit the ball. And like many aggressive players, they like the ball coming on. But we're watching Vandit Prajapati. He's batted so well today. Ball swung into the onside. Protection out in the deep. Always looking for not only one, but he's always looking to come back for a couple of runs. With good support and putting pressure on the fielder's mat. I'm pretty sure that a lot of these ones could be turned into twos.
Yeah, Vandit Prajapati has got everything you need in a batsman. He's got the power. He can hit anybody and anything out of the ground. Action shifts to Abdullah, and then as you mentioned, the running between the wickets. He's got good communication, good legs, can run the twos and threes with all the ease in the world. But as I said with Suhas, running requires two people between the wickets. He needs the support from his partner. And we've seen with Adil Bhatti and Trevor Griffin and Abdullah Saeed, they've backed up well. The running has been good.
Big shout ball, perhaps going down the leg side from Mohamed Ilyas, but leg by is the call from umpire Foster. But you get the feeling that Mohamed Ilyas is bowling something of substance here. Abdullah Saeed not getting bat on ball.
Oh my goodness. Vandit Kumar Prajapati. Perhaps the shot of the day. Just because of how well he's managed to connect with that. The footwork, the timing, just to scoop it over. Brilliant. Brilliant from Prajapati.
Continues to bat well, this man. He has had a very good summer. Wherever he goes, he continues to make runs. And Usman Ali, the bowler. That brings up the 100 for the Diamonds. They're batting at 103 for 2. Lovely shot from Vandit Prajapati.
Looking to go again for that scoop shot. This Prajapati didn't get hold of it on that occasion.
So 12 gone, it's 104 for 2. Prajapati and Abdullah Saeed on 3. So 104 for 2, 12 overs gone. Prajapati is on 53. Well played half century from this man. Abdullah is on 3. And so Rizwan Akram comes back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs, no made none for 14 so far, Akram. And will come into bowl to Prajapati. Prajapati is on 53. Good start here from Akram. Quality off spinner mat. Very experienced, and the Diamonds would probably want to win this one, the final league game, and certainly put themselves into playoff mode. 104 for 2.
Prajapati, that one all along the ground. They'll push for a couple of runs. There we see again the willingness of Vandeep Prajapati to always come back for more.
Yeah, this man runs pretty well. We'll take a look at how many doubles he has really run. And the fact is he is he wanted to run a lot more. This one into the onside. The keeper will have to give chase. He is behind the keeper. And they'll come back for more runs here. Prajapati will pick up another 3. That will take him up to 58. We've seen a very good innings from this man. It's 109 for 2.
Yeah, Vandeep Prajapati just toying with the bowlers at the moment. When a batsman is able to play 2 or 3 of those scoop shots effectively, it A, shows a man in form, and B, shows the comfort in which Prajapati goes about his business.
And the fact is, Matt, look, he's batting at 58. He has already achieved a bit of milestone here. And with 45 balls remaining, lots of wickets in hand. You reckon that they'll have the liberty to really go hard? Big shot here from Saeed Abdullah. And that has gone for 6. Big strike from Abdullah. So 115 for 2. Abdullah goes up to 9. Prajapati is on 58. And we're over number 13. Still 44 balls to be bowled here. Gujranwala Wolves. Under some bit of pressure here. Projected score maybe closer to 180. Maybe 185, 190.
Goes again. Finds the gap. Finds the boundary. Does Abdullah. Saeed picks up 4 more. And he is getting in on the act now. Playing an innings that we'd expect a player like Abdullah Saeed to play.
So 15 runs in this over from Rizwan Akram. And they're beginning to pick things up here. With 43 balls to be bowled and just a couple of wickets fall. It's 119 for 2. Abdullah is on 13. Prajapati is on 58. And Diamonds on course here to post another big score in this tournament. They've done so well. It's going to be tough here to beat this team. Into the offside. This time Abdullah running quickly, supporting Prajapati well. And one of the rare times you see Prajapati says, no, let's stay for 1. And that takes the score up to 120 for 2. So 13 gone. It's 120 for 2.
So Usman Ali comes back into the attack with a bowled one over for 7. Abdullah Saeed, taking a liking to Rizwan Akram in the previous over, has found his footing in this innings, 14 of 10. In the air, offering a chance. No, it lands just short. They'll come back for an easy 2 in the end.
Yeah, ball hanging in the air for some time. Zafar Khan came around. And you get the feeling with 41 balls remaining, Abdullah and Vandit Prajapati, who's on 58, will be looking to target the bowlers here. Usman Ali comes into the attack here. Over number 14 in place. Still some ways to go, and the Diamonds have played so well in this tournament. Oh, straying down the leg side, short. And given the treatment here from Abdullah Saeed. And that has gone away for another boundary. Good looking shot from Abdullah.
Yeah, he started off a bit slowly, Abdullah Saeed, but in the last 2 overs has really found his footing. Really looking to finish things off here for the New York Diamonds. Still 40 deliveries to go. But still, I'm sure at this stage they're targeting 180, 200, 210. Given they've got Abdullah Saeed and Vandit Prajapati, they'll be feeling they could get any total they set their minds to at the moment.
And the fact is, man, still a lot of batting to come. The likes of Randall Wilson waiting in the hut. Where you're watching Usman Ali under pressure. Ball worked into the onside, and running quickly is Abdullah. He's found a bit of chemistry with Prajapati that they're going to take on the fielders. And so far, good running, 7 off this over. Vandit comes back into strike. He has batted so well. And he continues to pile on the runs, whichever tournament this man shows up to. He's up to 58 so far. Oh, a slashing shot over the offside. And that has gone away for 4 from a man in form. And he goes up to 63.
More runs here for Vandit Prajapati. And the Gujranwala Wolves throughout this innings have had no answer on how to stop this man. They've joined the list of so many bowlers and so many teams that have been taken completely by surprise by the rise of Vandit Prajapati around the leagues throughout the Northeast in the past 2 or 3 months.
Yes, Matt, we're making the point. The week he got into the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers unit, not sure what it was, but they began winning. And the fact is, his contribution was quite solid at the top of the order with Chandrapal Hemraj. And all of a sudden, we also saw him doing some bit of bowling, Vandit Prajapati. Oh, bowled him. So Usman Ali has taken out the off stump, uprooted the off stump. And finally, Vandit Prajapati falls for 63. It's 131 for 3.
Yeah, Prajapati, it's been a well-played innings. Finally departs for 62. Usman Ali gets the breakthrough. 131 for 3. The Diamonds, big wicket gone. Prajapati falls. So Charan Singh comes to the middle, and Charan Singh is another player like Vandit Prajapati who has had a very good summer. We saw him in the Unity Cup in the DMV area. Was very consistent there. We saw him we see him now in the Big 3 tournament. Has already gotten a 70 in this tournament. So Charan Singh, clearly a very dangerous player.
So Usman Ali would have done well. The ball guided away into the offside, and that will complete over number 14. So 14 gone. Diamonds batting first. It's 131 for 3.
So Muhammad Ilyas comes back into the attack, 1 over for 16 from him. But you feel with Vandit Prajapati back in the shade, a lot of these bowlers will have a second chance. Although that second chance may not be much easier given it's Abdullah Saeed and Charan Singh out in the middle.
So Ilyas starts well, betrayed by some very poor fielding from the man out in the onside. Seemed to have injured himself. And a couple of runs there to Abdullah. With 35 balls remaining, Matt, with lots of wickets in hand. You fancy both Abdullah and Charan Singh will take the opportunity to up the scoring here for the New York Diamonds. They've done so well in the tournament so far. They'll be hoping that they can finish strong. Well, look at that. Poor delivery. A full toss on the leg side. And Abdullah helping himself to a good-looking shot again. He picks up a boundary. That has gone away for 4. It's 137 for 3. Ball straying down the leg side. Not a good ball here from Ilyas.
Yeah, calm ball those to Abdullah Saeed. Poor delivery, full toss down the leg side. And put away as you would want from any batsman. Abdullah Saeed motors on up to 27 or 15.
And it's interesting, he's coming around the wicket, Ilyas. And will come into bowl to the hard-hitting Abdullah Saeed. I've seen so much cricket from Abdullah Saeed since this man was a lad, 15, 16 years old. Played a lot of youth cricket in this area. Was quite delighted when he was called up for the U.S. national selection at one point. Played briefly at the international level. Ball tucked into the offside. Charan Singh he's a very agile runner. And good running here from Abdullah and Charan Singh. Charan Singh, another young player, might have been the same age with Abdullah. Saw him over time, comes from the DC area. And you were right, we saw him at the Unity Cup getting runs. In fact, both batters out in the middle had a very good Unity Cup.
That one perhaps not getting the height Abdullah would have wanted for that pull. Still enough to get a couple of runs. So this over from Ilyas hasn't been much better from his first. First over would have gone for 16. This one has gone for 10 with a ball left in it. And Abdullah on 30 of 17 has batted very well so far. Has kept things moving quite nicely.
So ball pulled through the onside. We'll pick up 1. And that will complete over number 15. So 142 for 3. They're going at 9.4 and over. And with 30 balls remaining, 142 for 3.
So 15 overs gone. It's 142 for 3. And so 30 balls remaining. We welcome back Sohas Vidam into the box. Sohas, they're going at 9.4 and over. Is this the time for them to go big?
Thank you very much, Lenny. And yeah, it's going to be... It looks like they are on the right track to post a total upwards of 180. Especially with Abdullah Said still out there. 31 of 18 has been an excellent knock from him. Oh, just as we speak, the commentator's curse at its best. There are only 2 stumps standing, and it's not a good sign for a batter in any form of the game.
Yeah.
Abdullah Said will walk.
Yeah, kept a tad low, looking to pull through the onside. You needed some bit of bounce. That didn't happen. And Abdullah falls. Usman Ali has picked up another wicket. He's picked up 2. Abdullah falls, 142 before.
He's kept it straight when it matters, and it's provided the wicket of the big fish, Abdullah Syed. Malik would be the new man in.
Yeah, we're beginning to see a fight back here from Gujranwala Wolves. They'll be banking on the big hitting Umar Farooq, and Sahas Umar Farooq scores extremely quickly. He's a type of batsman that will probably get a 50 with all boundaries. That's how commanding this man is. And when you're playing against Umar Farooq, that's the man standing there, number 300. He hits the ball so hard. You've got to make sure if you are planning to come to the park and planning your par score on the ground is 160, 180. If Umar is on the opposition side, you want to get 30, 40 runs more.
That's how big a cushion you're talking about. Umar Farooq, yeah, forced to reckon with. Now, of course, providing his services on the field. Very soon you'll see him with the bat in hand. Just at the right time, the wicket has fallen. Reason being, 2 new men at the crease. And that's exactly what you want if you're a Gujranwala Wolves fan. 2 new men at the crease when they're trying to create a launch pad and get to a very big total.
Yeah, Charan Singh, while Malik Sohail comes to the middle. And it's always a method that when a new batsman comes to the middle, Suhas, the formalities that goes through before he faces his first ball. Time for sometime bathroom break for the commentators at time. But you look at Charan Singh at the non-striker end, he's a top quality aggressive batter. And one of the reasons he's here with 29 balls remaining, he's here to give them a big push towards the end.
Well, 142 for 4. That's a single camera stream, so we'll try and project and paint a picture of what's happening just outside this frame. Captain Rizwan Akram's decided to go the kung fu way to battle flies. And the flies have been pestering him at the very wide, long off fence, and that's exactly why no fielder wants to be there. The captain has to assume the position.
Yeah, so far he seems to be winning there. That's the wrong one.
That's round 1. Well called, Lenny. Well called.
And you know, Sohas in boxing, there is a division called flyweight.
Now you know where the flies are training.
So Charan Singh comes into strike. Malik Sohail would have picked up 1, and so we come down to the last 28 balls. A runner ball will give them close to maybe 175, but you want to think with wickets in hand here, Sohas could be more than a runner ball.
Yeah, we've discussed in the first 5 overs itself that you're looking at about 180 on a track of this kind. Beautifully placed. It's just guided the ball to such good perfection. It'll go for 4 if it beats the infield. That is the outfield story to you.
Yeah, good little dab into the offside. Very fast outfield, and Charan Singh picks up a boundary. And you get the feeling, Sohas, with no disrespect, but the Gujranwala Wolves team looks a bit down in the team. It's been a hectic tournament. This is day number 3, and it appears that they've had their run in the field and coming down to the last stage match. They're under the pump here to really move around the field quite efficiently.
The only person moving left, right with great reflexes is the captain swatting flies. Gently guided again. Are there even fielders at the moment? This man's only seeing gaps. Precision and perfection put together. You get Charan.
Yeah, Charan Singh taking advantage of a couple of balls very wide outside the off stump. That's not where Usman Ali wants to bowl or where he should be bowling. But look at Charan Singh, a couple of 4s dabbed into the offside. Fast outfield, the ball runs away and takes the score up to 150. The 150 comes up 151 for 4 with 26 balls still to be bowled.
If Usman can keep it wicket to wicket again, because that's when the wickets are falling as well for him. He's been the most effective when he keeps it wicket to wicket. Again, room on offer, this time straight to point. Adil does well.
Yeah, the big difference in this ball, it forces the batsman to come a little bit on the front foot. What happens when you bowl short and allows the batsman to come off the back foot, that slice, it can go anywhere. A lot of fielders still get fooled with a slice because the slice produces spin.
Absolutely right, Lenny. And we had input from Zafar Bhai as well that the change in pace has also worked in the bowler's favour. There is protection in the deep, but the calls for 2 will be taken. There is a misfield in the deep. A second run goes unchallenged.
Yeah, I made a point, Sahas. That is Gujranwala Wolves team. A little under the rigors of this tournament. And it's day number 3. They're beginning to feel the effect physically. It's been hot weather in the New York State area. And I think on day number 3, it's only the fittest that really survives. 153 for 4.
Captain Rizwan Akram.
So we come down to the last 24 ball. Rizwan Akram. He's gone for 10 and over. So has 3 overs, no made, none for 10.
But now he's warmed up. In the most unlikely fashion at very wide long off.
Yeah, having a big fight with the flies.
Seems to have worked. Half-hearted appeal.
So leg by is the call from umpire Pernell Charles. Umpires are Charles and Foster. Charan Singh comes back into strike. A couple of big 4s in the last over. He's up to 11.
Wanted to target the same area, loses his stump in the bargain. Rizwan is not even celebrating. He's acting as if it's all in a day's play.
So Charan Singh, his improvisation doesn't work. Ball on the stumps. Good delivery here from Rizwan Akram. And that's the value of bowling on the sticks. Strikes the stumps. Stumps knocked out of the ground. It's 154 for 5. 22 balls remaining. And Charan Singh falls.
154 for 5. Mohammad Bajwa.
So Rizwan Akram has picked up his first wicket, toiling for 3.2 overs, 1 for 30 at the moment. And will come into bowl to the new man, Mohammad Bajwa, Malik Sohail at the other end. And they're going at 9.4 and over with 22 balls remaining, 154 for 5. That's a very good score for the time being, Sohas. And you expect them to get maybe with 3+ overs remaining, another 30 runs or so.
Yeah, that's a good revision because of the 2 quick wickets that have fallen, including Charan Singh's. 180 is still a good score on this track. It's keeping low at times, but it's still got a lot to offer if you're a batter. Rizwan.
The good thing for Rizwan and company Sohas, we're coming down to perhaps the lower order. Not much is known of Malik Sohail and Mohammad Bajwa. But the fact is, in T20 cricket, this one has found the gap. That's a good-looking shot from Mohammad Bajwa. So he gets off the mark with a boundary. And look at that, 158 for 5.
Excellent shot. Just exploring the gap as well. Once it beat mid-wicket, even though the fielder at deep mid-wicket was running full tilt and a very wide long off was trying to get there as well, the ball streaked through them for 4. That was so well placed. And Mohammad Bajwa, boy can he bat.
So he's picked up a boundary. This over's gone for 5 so far. Would have picked up the wicket of Charan Singh. Rizwan Akram. But still 20 balls to be bowled here.
Just revisiting the wicket of Charan Singh. I think Rizwan's so clever. He knew that Charan's someone who can go for the unorthodox shots, and he loves the area behind square and behind the wicket. We can just open the face of the bat where he collected 2 boundaries. Kept it straight, bowled on the leg side and picked up a wicket. Now he hasn't done that to any other batter, so it wasn't a genuine mistake of drifting down which sort of made him lucky on that occasion when Charan missed it. It was well-planned wicket.
Yes, Suhas, and you look what has happened here during the course of the New York Diamonds innings, and from where we're sitting, we haven't seen too many shots straight down the ground, at least not going for 6. But we've seen a lot of boundaries, which goes to show that they've bowled short, allowed the batsman to swing to the backward square area.
Looks like that is the right length to be bowling, in between that 2 full and back of a length. There was one shot which Captain Bhatti tried, but owing to a good catch, he was back in the pavilion. End of the over, 159 for 5. "18 deliveries left to maximize this 159. And the captains decided to go with pace again. Zafar Khan. Zafar in his 2 overs has given away 14, but what it doesn't show is the lovely ball that he delivers, which tries to kiss the outside edge and challenges the shoulder of the bat. If he can get that once again right on the money, boy, would he be very effective.
Yes, Suhas, and would have bowled at a time in which he bowled to Trevon Griffith and Prajapati, who got a 50.
That's perfect. Knows he's got the fielder in the deep. That's perfect. They're going for the second due to a little misfield. And the second would be for the throw itself. 1 for the shot, 1 for the throw. Very proactive running into the 160s now.
Yeah, the Diamonds have run pretty well. Inspired by Prajapati. We saw good running also with Adel Bhatti. And we saw a little bit later on Abdullah Saeed got the memo that we need to run quickly. Put pressure on a fielding team that has not been up to par.
Good slower delivery. This is the one we were talking about as well. He's going to use these change-ups, keep the batter on his toes. As you can sense, Gujranwala Wolves are getting into the limit destruction mode. wickets will come on their own. They want to ensure that the 161 is not maximized, and to do that, you need to curb the extras as well. This is a perfect delivery from the left arm seamer.
So a couple of wins for the Diamonds so far.
Much better. Lenny is turning out to be a man with a golden arm. 3 deliveries, 2 runs conceded, and the second one was off for the misfield, otherwise it should have been 1.
Yeah, I've seen Zafar Khan over the years, 5-6 years ago, bowled with a little bit more pace and allowed the ball to swing a little bit more. You look at this ground here at Marine Park, not a windy venue, but we have gone to other places in New York where the wind factors into the left-hander bowling into the wind. Here we're bowling on one end.
Just beyond Adil, who is inside the circle as a third man. He's not giving up with the chase. Excellent dive as well. They will come back for the second too, but that is pure commitment from Adil. 3 taken. Correction. 3 runs taken. And that just tells you Adil giving it all to save 1 single run for his side.
Yeah, commitment from Adil. Very sterling commitment there from the man. And what we've seen, Sohas, that area has really produced a lot of runs. And I'm surprised that they haven't reinforced that area.
You could almost sense that it's going to be a slower delivery. The man with the gloves has the best chance of pouching it. Doesn't make a mistake. Zafar Khan's amongst the wickets. What an over this is turning out to be. 5 and a wicket with a ball to go.
So another wicket goes down, the 6th wicket to fall. But you can never fault the batsman at this stage of the game with 13 balls remaining. Sohail falls. It's 164 for 6. So 164 for 6. In another 26 days, Sohas, batsman crossing during the course of a catch dismissal will be outlawed. It will no longer be with us as the new law takes effect on October the 1st. So we've got 20 plus days to make that adjustment. Good for the scores, I'll tell you that.
Good for the scorers, I'll tell you something. Oh, there comes the straight shot. The fielder gets around it. When was the last time you saw someone heckle from the scorecards? He was doing the scorecards. Heckle from the scorer. This is being played with some camaraderie, we can promise you that. Lenny, it's one of the most beautiful things here, covering cricket in New York, isn't it? The camaraderie that you get between the teams.
So 18 overs gone. It's 165 for 6, and you've got to applaud the efforts here from the Wolves. They've really pulled this game back slightly, and even slight progress is progress. And 165 with 12 balls remaining. At one point, they look as if they would easily get up to 180, 190.
Absolutely. When Syed was out there in the middle, it looked like 190 was on the cards. Then the flurry of wickets and good fielding efforts to show commitment. They've kept it down to 165. Gujranwala Wolves would be mighty pleased. Now it's up to Rizwan Akram to tell his boys to keep the intensity up for 12 more deliveries to get the momentum when they come out to bat as well. 165 for 6, and you never know, a couple of wickets over here, and they will be in danger of being bundled out, the New York Diamonds.
So Mohammad Bajwa and Kazam Shahzad out in the middle. Still to come, Noman Iftikhar, Randall Wilson. Randall Wilson is a young, exciting player, perhaps pushed down the order because of a top order here from the New York Diamonds, who have done pretty well. 2 wins, 1 against Pak Punjab, 1 against the Rebels. And they'll be hoping that they could finish with a perfect record in the group stage. And then, of course, playoff time later on this afternoon, Sohas.
Absolutely, Lenny. And as far as this game's concerned, looks like Wolves are in for a treat here. Oh, that's beautifully done. Not quite sure how intentional it was, but he squeezed it in the gap, and once it's in the gap, the outfield does the rest for you.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of runs on the offside of the pitch here. And Fahad Kabir greeted with a 4 off the bat of Mohamed Bajwa. And what we've seen, Sohaz, you never underrate lower batting orders of any team, no matter what. One of the things in T20 cricket, the shorter version of the game with 11 balls remaining, anyone can swing the bat, anyone can swing the willow, and you never know where the ball will end up.
Just contributing to your point, Lenny, I think the next rule change would be banish the word tail ender. He's offered some bat to it. There is a third man in place, and Adil's been one of the better fielders today. The second run is on due to a little misfield. This ground's a little up and down. You will get the bat bounce as well at times, but it's still done well to bring the body behind to stop it from 4.
So 171 with 10 balls remaining. Fahad Kabir has gone for 6 in the over so far. Mohamed Bajwa has farmed the strike so far, a 4 and a 2. And perhaps pretty good here for the Diamonds.
Once again, just wants to explore new areas, explore new gaps. He's dancing down the track. But that ball's impact has been felt as it vibrates through that handle. He knows he got it from the toe end of the bat. He's looking at it in dismay for cracks perhaps, but Fahad Kabir is not complaining. The stance suggests that he's going to be very leg-side-ish, the shot. Instead, he's slapped it straight down the ground. We have seen that of late the batters are not very side-on because they want the dominant eye to see the ball better, especially when it's swinging a little late.
Yeah, we've seen Kazam Shazad batting almost outside off stump. Try to access the onside more than anything else. Maybe that's his strength.
Oh, good delivery. It was a one-handed shot. That would have been perfect in the baseball court alongside. Missed it completely. A strike, perhaps.
You look at Kazam Shazad Sohas, and he looks like he's from a different team. With his yellow pads and a kit that probably resembles one of those yellow teams, as this one is tugged into the onside, looking for a couple of runs. A Saleh Iqbal. Not a good throw. They come back for 2, and that will complete over number 19, 175 for 6.
Kazam Shahzad to Zafar Khan. The final over of the innings. And the slower delivery which has been lofted up in the air. Salek will not get to this one though. The second run's on. And the second run it shall be comfortably taken as a throw was refrained.
So the intent from Kazam Shahzad, realizing that this is the last over, 5 balls remaining. And they've entrusted that responsibility with Zafar Khan. 3.1 overs, none for none for 1 for 22. In context, what has happened here, Sohas, good bowling from Zafar Khan.
Slower delivery coming up. Yeah, he's taking the pace of the ball and he's inviting the batter to use his power if he wants runs, which is not a bad ploy, especially with Zafar Khan rolling his fingers over and getting some deviation after pitching.
So we've got 4 balls remaining, 177 for 6. Mohammad Bajwa. He's been the better of the pair out in the middle from a productivity standpoint.
Excellently played. There is a man in the deep backward square. Will get around it and keep it down to a single. Zafar Khan's also getting the support he deserves from the fielders. 4 runs so far. And then Qasim Shehzad's trying to go inside out is what I believe, in case he wants to create room for himself. There's no sweeper in place. There is a deep point though. But if would he favor the leg side otherwise? Will pick up a single. Qasim wants a second. Qasim will get the second. There's no one backing up. There was no one backing up at the striker's end. Qasim had to go there at the striker's end. Even though he stuttered, he had enough time to get there.
Yeah, and also the keeper was out of place. And so would have taken a direct throw. And I'm surprised previous to that ball, Sohas, ball went to the very deep area. They haven't challenged the fielder for a couple of runs.
Slaps it straight down the ground. This is turned out to be an excellent over for Zafar Khan. Not a single boundary conceded. If he can close it out well, the captain would be mighty pleased.
Yeah, this over's gone for 7. If you're not going across the cones and out of the playing area, you're bowling well here. And Zafar Khan with 7 runs in this over. Final ball coming up. It's 181 for 6.
Another slower delivery coming up perhaps. But now the batter would be a little wary of the fact that it's going to be a slower one. Bajwa is looking good, 20 or 14. It is a slower one indeed. A little early to go through with a shot. A single to complete. 8 runs at that over. Zafar Khan's bowled an over worth its weight in gold. 182 is the number the men in blue have managed. New York Diamonds 183 when Gujranwala Wolves come out to bat. Absolute pleasure bringing you the first innings alongside Lenny. I'm Suhas Vedam. 183 is the magical number that Gujranwala Wolves would have to get to advance in the tournament. They know the importance of this game and they wouldn't want to come out with all guns blazing. We'll wait and watch in about 10 minutes time the reply from Gujranwala Wolves. Gujranwala Wolves. 183 is the mission they'll be on. They would be on. 183 starting at 9.1 and over. I'm Suhas Vedam, joined by Lenny. Lenny, 183.
It's a big score by numbers. But there's a player, Umar Farouk and Bilal Ahmed will be the two openers. Umar Farouk has to use a popular cricketing term, a cliche that has been around for some time. He hit sixes for fun. And so we'll wait and see. 183 needed from 120 balls. And so Umar Farouk and Bilal Ahmed goes out to the middle, Suhas. 183 from 120 balls, asking just over 9 runs and over. Still lots of cricket left in this game. Diamonds have won their opening 2 games. And the Wolves have won 1 and lost 1. Boys would have done well.
NY Diamonds looking for 3 on the trot. And it's going to be 182 that they have to defend. Gujranwala Wolves praying that they get a fantastic start because this game can be decided in the first 6. It's a team which is top heavy. And they'll rely on this man on your screen. Umar to get to a perfect start. If he gets going, any target can be diminished. It has to be demolition time in the first 6 overs, Lenny. We've harped on this point, and that's what it shall be with Umar Farouk and Bilal Ahmed, the 2 batters out there for Gujranwala Wolves.
So we're ready for play. Burhan Saeed has been given the ball. Man that is known as Stark, and the reason being he bowls like Mitchell Stark. And so he will come into bowl to Umar Farouk. Umar Farouk smashes it to all parts of the ground. And when I say all parts of the ground, it means over the cone. He deals in 6s. And he's going to be a key man here. Still a big score to chase. 183, asking 9 and over from the start. And it will be Burhan Saeed to start things off here for the New York Diamonds.
Burhan has decided to have no slip in place. Well, we'll rely on swing. Usually that's what he does. Excellent delivery, teasing the outside edge, but not taking it.
Yeah, Charan Singh is the wicket keeper. That's a good one to Umar Farooq. A little bit tentative outside the off stump. A man who scores very quickly, being involved with the World Series tape ball that is gaining some bit of popularity in the United States. Umar Farooq has been helping the cause to have that up and running.
That was quick enough and in the right area as well. Umar Farooq, who loves to get off to a flying start, has seen two good balls in two good areas. Remember, just two men are allowed to be at the boundary rope. It's a very wide, long on in place. And a deep backward square. So he's decided to go with a leg side. Well, that is a good shout. Pulled out of it on its own. The height factor, Lenny.
Yeah, certainly a bit of height. Very good start here from Baran Saeed. When you're bowling and you're containing or you're keeping Umar Farooq quiet, you're doing something good. And so Baran Saeed with 3 dot balls into his spell so far. He gets a bit of encouragement there from the captain Adil Bhatti. Very experienced player Adil Bhatti. And so far Baran Saeed has bowled well.
He's danced down the track. He didn't get it from the middle of the bat and will land safely. And Gujranwala Wolves will breathe easy. Not just that it landed safely, but also because the man who matters, Umar Farooq, is off the mark.
Yeah, brings Bilal Ahmed onto strike. Bilal Ahmed, contrasting style of batters. He's a man who would love to stroke it around. He would love to stroke it around. Takes a little bit more time in accessing the boundaries, but he's a top quality batter. Bilal Ahmed loves the offside. And it'll be a very good contest here. Baran Saeed, being a left-armer, likes to slant the ball across the right-hander. Nothing wrong with that, but if you have a very good batsman that can play well on the offside, Baran Saeed could be a good man for you to face up to.
Absolutely right, Lenny. And I think Burhan Saeed's also borrowed a leaf out of Zafar's book. We saw some excellent deliveries, especially in the last over when he was trying to roll his fingers over it. The angle seems to work when the righties are in operation.
Yes, Suhas, if I go out to bat on a left-hand seamer comes at me, I know he wants to slant it. I know he wants to take me to for a slip. So I'll be kind of prepared for that.
Excellent delivery, almost a replica of the previous one. And he can do it day in and day out. Just a single of that over. What a good start this is for New York Diamonds. Gujranwala Wolves, 1 for no loss.
So Mohammad Bajwa will partner Burhan Saeed. Saeed, a very quality over from Burhan Saeed, and over that they only conceded 1. And the fact is, predominantly bowling to Umar Farooq in that over. That has been a very good start from the Diamonds, opening bowler Burhan Saeed. But now the action shifts over to Mohammad Bajwa, and he will come into bowl to Umar Farooq.
Watch as this one go. Eventually the arms of the umpire will spread. feels like to run in on this track.
Yes, Suhas. We saw 13 extras from the Wolves. When they fielded, Mohamed Bajwa has given up one wide so far.
Big swing and a miss. That didn't bounce as much. Even the keeper was surprised, but he got his body behind it, which is ideal. He saved a certain boundary.
You might be wondering why we're bowling on one side. Well, part of the reason when there was cricket bowled on both ends, into the onside. Lovely shot from Omar Farouk. Fielder comes around, takes a good catch. Omar Farouk is gone. 2 for 1. Norman, if
In the first instant, but he had enough, even though he was with momentum, to pouch it eventually and not fall down. Had the good boundary awareness as well, or should I say cone awareness on that regard, and ensured that the big man's back in the hut without troubling them much. 2 for 1, and Gujranwala Wolves have lost their first of the pack. Salik Iqbal, who came off a great innings yesterday, would be wanting to translate some of that confidence into this innings. Gujranwala Wolves, they're looking up to him for a big score as Omar Farouk's back in the hut without scoring much. Just 1 run of 6 balls. It's the pressure that was created in the first over. Burhan.
yes, Suhas. So I was trying to tell you a story, but I've got 2 stories to say now that I'm trying to recollect what I needed to say. So you look at this ground and we're bowling on one side, and one of the reasons for that is that when the bowlers bowl on the top end of the ground, batters hit the ball straight on the ground, and you see how many cars are there, and there used to be a problem.
Next time in the house insurance, there's another page which covers cricket.
And so one of the reasons why the permit holders have told the cricket committee people that, well, we will allow you to play on this ground, but you'll have to keep batting for this side because you're damaging cars and houses and stuff like that. And the fact is, it's players like Omar Farouk, one player that has really caused a bit of a quote-unquote problem for the cricket committee, because he hits the ball straight down the ground, he hits it hard, he strikes the car, he hits the building. And so that's one of the issues that if you look at this ground, you might be wondering why we're bowling on one side, is because the permit allows us to do that.
Just adding to your point, I also thought that's the reason, because when you change ends, there is a bit of time that elapsed. Now you're bowling from one end, you're able to get the games done quickly, especially when you're slotting 3 games a day. It's important to be on time all the time.
And then I'll tell you another story about Omar Farouk. This one outside the off stump, left alone by Salik Iqbal. Omar Farouk played in an annual tournament that they play in Queens called the Indo-Caribbean Cup, Indo-Caribbean Tournament. And we were playing at Rockaway Field, and they had a big picnic on the other side just outside of the cricket ground. And Omar Farouk was hitting so many sixes into the picnic area, they come and begged us that, listen, we need to allow this guy to hit the other side.
I'll tell you what, as true cricket connoisseurs, you should have just given them helmets and they should have continued the picnic. That's gone up in the air, doesn't have elevation, only height, should be pouched. But he's put it down. It was quite a juggling act. First went for the regular way of catching it, then the Aussie style. In the end, it falls behind his back. 9 out of 10 times with a complete.
So big missed chance there from the captain, Adel Bhatti. Should have picked up the wicket of Salik Iqbal. But Iqbal survived. 2 overs gone. And they're batting at 3 for 1. More stories to come. So welcome back. Baran Saeed will continue. And will come into bowl to Salek Iqbal, who should have been taken. We saw Adel Bati getting under the ball, did everything right, but the ball just popped out. And the Wolves, they're batting at 3 for 1. Still a long way to go, asking 10 runs and over. As Salek Iqbal gets ready to face up to Burhan Saeed.
Didn't bounce as much, and that probably is what prompted him to go for the appeal, but still had enough bounce in that one to not hit the stumps, is what the umpire is saying. And with that angle as well, it's difficult to get an LBW because you always run the risk of pitching it outside the line.
And over time, so has the likes of Burhan Saeed, Salek Iqbal, Bilal Ahmed, and Umar Farouk. They've played so much together as a team from time to time. And these boys, they might be big rivals on the field, but they're the dinner partners at restaurant around this area. Always a fun time. Cheeky single taken there from Iqbal. Hands the strike over to Bilal Ahmed. But they're still under the gun here, 4 for 1.
Bilal Ahmed opened the batting and is yet to open the account into the third over. Burhan Saeed, how well is he bowled? I think it's his discipline with bowling which allowed his partner to pick up a wicket, because that's when Umar was under pressure to go for the big shot.
Yeah, Burhan Saeed has always been, he loves the game so much. He goes around all over the place and he plays a lot of good cricket.
That's the importance of running the first one hard. Had they run the first one hard, the second was definitely there to be taken. Especially a bit of a juggling act in the deep.
So runs coming by singles at the moment. We haven't seen a boundary so far. The man who probably would have provided that is back in the shade.
Excellent delivery. That angle is working, especially to the righty when he's bowling. And that lift he's getting is just a joy to watch. This contest is nicely spicing up. Now this 178 required to win might look like a little more, because the lack of bounce is a thing of past. It's the extra bounce which is troubling the batter now.
Yeah, good delivery here from Burhan Saeed. He continues to bowl well. Certainly not under any pressure at all. First of all, would have gone for 1. And he's bowled well so far. Look, this over's only gone for 2.
In the air, just over. A better jump or better time jump could have pouched it. Fielder inside the circle was more of a backward square, also masquerading as short fine leg.
Yeah, that's Noman Iftikhar. Would have taken the catch to dismiss Umar Farouk. And the man who comes out of the Manhattan Yorkers. He's a fast bowler, Noman Iftikhar. And Burhan Saeed will have to work more. Bilal Ahmed comes back into strike.
Is it going to be a slower delivery from Burhan? No, that was quicker than expected. What a good over this has turned out to be. Yet again, just 2 of it. 177 required for victory here. They've got to get a move on. 6 for 1. 6 for 1 in 3 overs. It's a quiet start for Gujranwala Wolves. They need to get a move on, and they're praying that Salik Iqbal can continue from where he left off yesterday. Oh, puts the right hand up, and that was enough to stop the ball. Salik Iqbal's taking his own sweet time as well. 3 of 9 at the moment.
So Mohamed Bajwa, and you probably would have seen him before. Suhas, not too long ago, would have played in the USPL representing the Texas Cowboys. I thought he had a very good series there. Salik Iqbal is on 3. Will have to kick start quickly.
Very well bowled. This is good cricket all around. Watching the ball to the last moment. Salik not tempted enough to go into that drive. Nice and loopy from the bowler. This is good cricket all around, and that's what we promise you.
So this Labor Day Cup, certainly the concept has been around for some time.
Oh, it's hit him. It's hit the non-striker. This is not Counter-Strike Condition 0 where you can switch on friendly fire and play.
Yeah, Bilal Ahmed have to get some bit of treatment there. Ball was struck firmly from off the bat of Salik Iqbal. And that's one way of looking at it, Suhas, but it may have prevented Salik Iqbal from scoring a boundary.
Oh, would have been 4. It looks like that because he came from the middle of the bat. Would have done a world of good to his confidence. Salik Iqbal's 3 of 11 at the moment. And what the scorecard doesn't show is that there are 11 men on the field who've turned up in blue, and one of them in the colours that Salik was wearing. That was certainly a boundary.
Yes, Suhas, and a couple of straight drives that other things that would prevent one of those lovely straight drive from getting you runs is those 3 sticks at the other end. And from time to time, the umpires have gotten in the way.
Yeah, the reflexes of everyone is tested. Even we had to scurry from the commentary box if this one comes straight down. Very well bowled. Good adjustment to the fact that the batter was backing away. He was trying to explore the area on the leg side and was trying to move accordingly. Great adjustment by the bowler Mohamed Bajwa, who watches the batter till the last moment, and that is what the coaches tell you to do.
Yes, Suhas, the opening bowlers have really provided very good support. For the Diamonds, you look at Burhan Saeed, 2 overs, no made, none for 4. And Mohamed Bajwa has bowled 10 balls. He's only given up a couple of runs.
Oh, that's it well. That's into the cow corner. A couple of bounces into the fence. Much needed boundary for Salik Iqbal. Much needed for Gujranwala Wolves.
Yeah, you got the feeling that something would have to give. And Salik Iqbal through the onside picks up a much valued boundary. They'll need a lot more than that. Asking 10.7 and over. And they're going at 2.6. 173 still to win.
Such a good over. It was 1 boundary and suddenly 4 dot balls have been taken care of. Oh, puts this one away. The fielders are out of equation. Maximum to follow it up. Salik Iqbal's announced his arrival. Yes, he took time and now he's made up for it.
Short and pulled over the onside. And that's a massive strike from Salik Iqbal. 4 overs gone, 16 for 1. So welcome back, 16 for 1. With the news, 184 is the target. They still need 167 from 95 balls. Asking 10.5 and over. It's an uphill task here for the Gujranwala Wolves. Bilal Ahmed out in the middle, the man on strike. Kazam Shahzad has been given the ball. The ball swatted into the onside, still can't score. So this has been tidy stuff here from the New York Diamonds. They batted well to get up to 183 Sohas, and they're bowling even better now. 16 for 1.
Yes, they've kept the pressure on. Now Salik Iqbal's vented some pressure by hitting a boundary and then following it up with an excellent shot with went for 6. Now Kazim Shahzad is inheriting a good scorecard. His run-up is such that it's a little wayward. It's not in straight lines that he runs in, not in straight lines that he bowls either. He's drifted down the leg side. And a lovely pick-up from Bilal Ahmed to send it for 4.
Yeah, a couple of good shots we've seen in the last 4 or 5 balls. One off Salik Iqbal, but this one is a beautiful shot from Bilal Ahmed. He goes up to 5. It's 20 for 1. They've lost the wicket of the big man, the big hitter, Omar Farouk. And that alone is a big blow to any batting side. The Wolves still need 163. Still a long way to go. 93 balls still to be bowled. And Bilal Ahmed is up on 5, 20 for 1.
Of what the economists would call lack of resources at the right time.
It's a couple of 4s off the bat of Bilal Ahmed. Sometimes it's not how it's done, it's how much you got. And 4 runs off the bat. He peels off the edge of the bat of Bilal Ahmed. And Kazam Shahzad has given up a couple of 4s with a couple of dot balls in this over. A mixed bag for him, but still a long way to go. He has some bit of cushion to play with. With still 159 needed from 92 balls. Not an easy one here for the Wolves.
Kazim Shahzad, I'm so enamored by his run-up. It's something that he dodges midway. Good delivery.
So bowling run-up consists of some elements that really make you deliver the job, deliver a ball properly. Is what we call the run-up. Then of course some bowlers come with a little bit of jump. And by the way, the jump we don't see too much of now. Back in the 80s and the 70s. Well, that's a jump actually. So this one pulled into the onside. And connected well from Bilal Ahmed. And that has gone for 4.
Five overs, 28 for 1. Gujranwala Wolves. They've got 2 batters who are trying to make up for that early wicket and some good bowling. They want to make the most of the last over before the first power play ends. And Salik Iqbal has got a couple of boundaries under his belt. So has Bilal Ahmed. Will be looking to target this over for sure. Suhas Vedam joined by Matt now. Matt, the last over before the power play, what do you think are the areas that Salih Iqbal would be looking to target?
Well, Salih Iqbal is a player that can target really any side of the ground. He's been kept quiet, but he's started to open up a little bit in the last few overs. Bilal Ahmed is another ball beater at the other end. Has hit 3 fours in his innings already. They'll definitely be looking to get this last over right. It hasn't been a great start for them, considering it's the power play. I'm surprised we haven't seen the captain Adil Bhatti take the ball in these early stages as yet. Noman Iftikhar as well, although he seems to be carrying some bit of an injury. But 2 of their better power play bowlers haven't seen as yet.
Noman Iftikhar is moving all right in the deep for sure with that catch being taken. Excellent shot. Had to access the gap better. What a good stop. That had 4 written over it. But there came the diving man towards his right. Running sideways is not going to be easy. All the time had his eyes on the ball.
Yeah,
He's hurt himself in the process. But it's one of the most jolting efforts that we've seen today. Great celebrity.
Trevon Griffith, definitely one of the best fielders. We saw him throughout the minor league last year for the Empire State Titans and briefly this year for the St. Louis Americans. Took so many catches, one of the better fielders in all of the minor league perhaps. When you really get down to it, player that gives all the effort. And a tough man, Trevon Griffith, just heads back to his position. Took a little bit of a knock, but always willing to go again.
Inside out, and he launches that one many a mile. Much needed 6 coming from Salih Iqbal's bat.
Lovely shot, lovely sound of the bat from Salih Iqbal. And this is what we mean. He started slowly, but now has really found himself in this innings, really realizing that despite the loss of Umar Farooq, the Gujranwala Wolves have still got to go at over 10 and over. And he is the man. He's the man that they'll really back to try and help them over the line. You feel these two have a big role to play. Bilal Ahmed can really hit the ball as well at the non-striker's end. And it's been a very good partnership between these two of 34.
Umar Sharif's got to change the pace. He's hit it down the ground. Work to do for long off. Gets around it and would keep it down to a single. This is excellent. The throw was wayward, but the second run was not on.
Bit expensive over here from Umar Hanif. Has gone for 9 from 4 deliveries. Gets Bilal Ahmed on strike.
Catch it is the call that is in the air. In the second attempt, he takes it. He pops it up in the first one. Had the presence of mind and the balance to go around and collect it. It's substitute Wilson who's completed the catch.
What a grab in the end. Driven straight into his hands. Bit of a tough chance. One-handed, putting in the dive at the end as well. And that's what you want from substitute fielders. As a substitute going onto the field, you haven't got a whole lot to do. You just want to make sure to get a good throw in, get a good catch in. And Randall Wilson has certainly made his presence known on the field with that one.
Excellent catch. Usually when the ball pops up like that, the fielder is left searching for the ball, isn't it? But he knew where exactly it was. The presence of mind and the reflexes, as you rightly mentioned, Matt. He's one of the best on the field. Earlier we saw Griffith save a boundary. Now the intention and execution perfect. The men in blue are growing in confidence on the field.
So the wicket falls. Bilal Ahmed. Very good reflex catch by Randall Wilson. And the breakthrough comes for the New York Diamonds. A partnership that was really starting to gain some bit of traction. Got off to a start, 35 from 27 deliveries. But all of a sudden you get that wicket, you bring a new man in. Momentum shifts to the New York Diamonds for sure.
Poor delivery. Couldn't pouch it either. The keeper is after it, but the single's not being entertained. It's got to be better here, Omar Hanif. He's picked up a wicket. Is also considered as 6 of the third ball. Can't be bowling extras at this stage. A good delivery. He's come back with a very good delivery. Now the single is on. Little later start for Salik Iqbal. But the single is on. End of the over. 6 overs done and dusted with. The power play restrictions of the first one would now be lifted. 39 for 2.
So Kazam Shazad will continue, 1 over for 12 from him. Out of the power play now. Salik Iqbal turns this one away, just the single. In fact, that's Zubair rather.
Matthew, the game is getting into a zone where Gujranwala Wolves will be targeting this over irrespective of the fact that the field is now being spread and there's more cushion in the deep. Reason being, only then can they get the momentum that they require to accelerate in the middle overs so that the required rate can be under control. Otherwise, 10.3 for the next 14 overs is going to be difficult to manage.
Yeah, and we see a lot of the times and Salik Iqbal on 22 of 19, 2 sixes and a 4. And we see a lot of the times the middle overs is where teams tend to lose games. You would get off to, let's say you're chasing 170, you would get off to a fine start, 60, 70 in the power play, and then you really just get bogged down to maybe 5, 6, 7 and over. So it'll be very important for the Gujranwala Wolves, for Salik Iqbal especially, because he's the man that you feel will lead the ship from now on, to stay on the front foot in these middle overs, because that asking rate is not getting any easier. 10.5 an over required, and you don't want to save too much for the final 5 overs.
Absolutely, and Salik Iqbal will know that. One of them's got to assume the responsibility of bringing that down. Salik Iqbal is just creating room, and he allows that free flow of hands to happen. That's how he scores runs, Salik Iqbal. Such a joy to watch when he gets going. Griffith with the throw.
And that point that I made about the middle overs really is something that could happen even when you have a good start. Like I said, maybe about 50 to 60 in the power play. The Gujranwala Wolves have not had anywhere close to that start. They were 39 for 2 after the power play.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what they got to make up for in the middle overs. And that's what happens in the middle overs. There's no protection in the deep, so a boundary ball, sometimes hit away so nicely, can also be curtailed to a single.
Much better over from Kazam Shazad. Would have gone for 12 in his first over. Has come back with a 3-run over with still 1 ball to go. The New York Diamonds won't mind this at all. They've got the Gujranwala Wolves 2 down. 2 of their better batsmen in the hut, Umar Farouk and Bilal Ahmed.
It's a no ball. Anyways, would have been wide, but it's going to be no ball and a free hit to follow with a boundary being collected. Gujranwala Wolves would have loved this. That is the shift in momentum they want. If this particular delivery lands itself beyond the cones, then boy would they be back in the game with great momentum and Salik Iqbal firing.
No ball has gone for 4 as well. So Salik Iqbal has a chance, and I was just saying it was a good over from Kazam Shazad. Now he's bowled a no ball, which has gone for 4, and he's got a free hit coming up.
And the free hit would be smashed away into the adjacent ground. The perfect ingredient that you require for required in the 78 balls left. 53 for 2.
.53 for 2, the Gujranwala Wolves. Huge 6 off the bat of Salik Iqbal. This one is flicked away, but there is protection out there. Limits it to just the 1. In fact, a couple of runs. So just a single. Looking for another boundary. There's Mohammad Zubair looking to get himself off and running. Can only find the fielder. Salik Iqbal, not the elevation on that time. Trevon Griffith. One man you don't ever want to take on is Trevon Griffith.
So quick on the field, and he attacks the ball in straight lines as well. Doesn't wait for the ball to come to him. He's quite content approaching the ball. And you've seen his flexibility as well. He is very handy, especially with great boundary awareness added to the kitty. That could be close. He's missed it completely. The finger will rise as slowly as it can. He's taking that run only to realize he's getting closer and closer to the dreaded finger.
Like Iqbal running out of support here at the other end.
It's a big wicket indeed. Just when the partnership was brewing, Gujranwala Wolves have lost another from the pack. Just 2 runs of the first 2 balls, just putting the pressure. Now the wicket went for a cross-batted shot and the ball didn't bounce at all. Good work by Omar Hanif, ensuring that he kept it straight and let the pitch do the rest. 55 for 3. Gujranwala Wolves are losing the plot.
So Umar Hanif with a couple of wickets to his name. Took out Bilal Ahmed, took out Mohammad Zubair. Brings Imran Mazar out to the middle. With 55 for 3 on the board for the Gujranwala Wolves. Needing 10.2 and over. He joins Salik Iqbal.
.128 in 75 balls. The required rate 10.2. It's not climbing much because Salik's still out there scoring those boundaries. He needs to find the fence more often than not and guide this team towards victory. Salik is the main man here. Imran Mazhar joins him. Matt, this crucial period of play, you've got to say that it's gone to New York Diamonds. Tucks it away nicely on the leg side as he picks up a single, Matt.
Yeah, I've got to give the New York Diamonds the full advantage here. With 10.3 and over required, 3 wickets down, wickets continuing to fall for the Gujranwala Wolves. And it falls at a very heartbreaking time for batting sides. When you've got a partnership of like 20, 30 that you see is going somewhere, and then a wicket falls.
Would be a single again, protection in the deep. Bit of a misfield. And that misfield will mean that second run is possible indeed. Throw was all the way to the striker's end. It's a good throw, it's a great throwing arm. But enough time for the batters to complete 22 yards yet again.
Sova's gone for just 5. Very good one from a New York Diamonds perspective.
What a good delivery from Umar Hanif. Not scared at all of tossing it up like that, being a pacer. Usually a term utilized with spinners in operation. Just floating it up in the air and letting gravity do the rest. This is good bowling. When the batter expects it the least, even the slowest of deliveries could be mighty pleasing. 8 overs done and dusted with 58 for 3.
.58 for 3 on the board after 8 overs. Trevon Griffith comes into the attack for the first time. And we will be seeing some spin for the first time. We would have seen the pace from Bohan Saeed, Bajwa, Kazam Shazad and Umar Hanif. Slowing things down now with Trevon Griffith.
Griffith knows that the batter will be coming after him to reduce the required rate of 10.4. It's just checking the angles because the fielders in the deep will be activated. Oh, that's a good single. Might even be more. Yes, the second run's also on because the fielder coming in couldn't collect the ball and the momentum carried him further. When the ball and the fielders go in opposite directions, it's always a chance of another run.
Yeah, and that's one thing we've seen from both sides. Anytime there's a fumble or a misfield or an overthrow, they're always willing to go back for a second run. This one striking the pad of Mazar. And it's running away. And it runs away for 4. Has not been signaled as a leg by, so it's clearly come off some bit of the bat from Imran Mazar.
Much required for Gujranwala Wolves. A boundary early on in the over. 6 of the first 2. They've got to bring that required rate down. The middle overs cannot be treated as a quiet period of play. You can't leave too many for the batters at the end. Good delivery. He was stuck at the crease there. The front foot neither went forward, neither did the back foot get activated. Just stood there as he offered the shot. Matt, this is good bowling from Griffith as well. Once again, hitting the right length. It's difficult to pick the ball and get the elevation from that length.
Yeah, Trevon Griffith. And there we look at that. Even the slightest bit of mishaps in the field. Batsman looking to come back for another run. Trevon Griffith, not a regular on the bowling scorecard for the teams that he plays for, but when he does, he tends to always bowl quite economically.
There comes a big shot, man in the deep. Has he taken it? No, he has put it down. That should have been taken.
Wilson, it's the man again.
I think it's an unwritten rule that when it goes to Mr. Wilson, it's going to be a juggling act.
This one cut away. Fielder made it look a bit difficult than it should have been in the end, but still manages to stop it. 8 off the over. 66 for 3 at the end of 9.
$66 for 3 at the end of 9 overs.
Saleh Iqbal. We see given a life by Randall Wilson. Perhaps taking the harder of the juggling acts. Catching the one that was hit firmly at him. But then this one in the outfield, you mentioned off mic, had some more time to complete the catch being out deep. Couldn't hold on that occasion. So bowling change yet again. We see a new bowler introduced, Malik Sohail Awan. Comes into the attack. 66 for 3. At the moment, the Gujranwala Wolves, they require 117 from 11 overs. Still lots of work to be done. But so far, Saleh Iqbal holding up his end of the bargain on 37 of 27 deliveries.
He holds the key to this run chase. Nice swift hands and plays it so late but still in front of the wicket. Saleh Iqbal. And that is exactly why the team Gujranwala Wolves were quite comfortable, even if Saleh Iqbal was spending a lot of time to get going today. Because they knew he can cover it up quickly, and that's what he did. 38 of 28 now. And got to kick into the next gear, Matt. 10.7, the required rate. Just past Griffith at covers. The sweeper ensures it's a single. Stylish from Griffith as he collects it with the ball hitting his foot and popping up into his hands.
Yeah, he's very skilled, Trevon Griffith. It's not the first time he's done that on the field. Always good with the football kick-ups. With a ball much smaller than your normal football.
Did offer some football skills there, the bowler, but couldn't curtail it. Gets around it. Runs in all the way from long gone. So far so good for Malik Sohail Awan. 3 singles of the 3 balls. The idea was to curtail the boundaries, and that's exactly what he's done. Once again just floating it up, but this time a little wayward. Gentle push by Imran Mazhar, and the ball would just about reach the fence. We'll wait for the umpire's decision. Yes, it does.
Imran Mazhar on that occasion. Not much to it. Just delicately flicked away, finding the gap. The open areas, runs away for 4. On this outfield, you will be rewarded for shots along the ground.
Just beautifully guided, isn't it? That was the first poor delivery on the leg side, and Imran Mazhar is too good to miss out on that gift. Well adjusted. These two batters are looking solid for Gujranwala Wolves. They're playing according to the situation as well, treating the ball according to its merit. 8 runs have come off the over. 1 ball to go. Matt, you seemed a little surprised with the field at the moment.
No, it was Trevor Griffith again with another foot juggling this one. That time showing off even more skills. Kept that for about a solid 5-6 seconds or so. But Malik, Sohail, Awan, an over of singles for the most part, but we did see that boundary from Imran Mazar, 74 for 3 at the halfway stage. So Griffith continues.
Excellent shot, work to do for long off, coming around it. One-handed pickup by Syed, and he's done a tremendous job indeed. That was hit very crisply.
Yeah, good shot, good intent from Imran Mazar, but Abdullah Saeed, very good fielder, especially at long on and long off.
For Salik Iqbal, he becomes a straighter long off, and extra bounce from Griffith. So skilled, this man, Griffith.
Yeah, player that comes with a lot of experience in the West Indies, would have played in the CPL with the Jamaica Tallawahs and with the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and has spent many years in and around the Guyanese national team setup. Has played a lot of his cricket recently in the United States, and has asserted himself as perhaps one of the best T20 batsmen in the country, and now offering his exploits with the ball in hand as well, and doing quite well. 1.4 overs for 11.
That's got the height. No chance for the fielders in the deep. That's tremendously hit for 6. Salik Iqbal's keeping them in the hunt, and shots of this kind will bring the required rate down as well. Griffith was bowling an excellent over, just 3 runs of the first 4. Make it 10 now with a ball to go.
Yeah, Salik Iqbal is continuing. He's putting on a very valiant effort here. Very good innings from him of 46 of 33 deliveries.
9, I beg your pardon, but what do you think this ball is going to yield? Because the field change that's been made, it's not a field change but a fielder's swap. With the new man coming in at point, would be in business. Just before him it bounces. 2 more taken, the overthrow will also be conceded. The required runs have come off in this over. 11 of it, 85 for 3. That was an exciting period of play. Was very, very close to being caught out there. Excellent dive as well by the fielder at point. The ball was dying on him.
Yeah, it was Kazim Shahzad landed right in front of him. And then the overthrow to add even more excitement to that ball. 10.89 an over required, which is practically 11 runs and over at this stage, because can't really get 0.89 runs in a ball or in an over. So really 11 is the target almost for the Gujranwala Wolves. At the moment they're trying to work themselves there. They were going at less than a run a ball at one stage. They worked themselves up to run a ball. They've gotten now to 7 and over, almost 8 and over. So every over or 2, they go up by 1 or 2 runs in their rate.
Lots of ground to cover for Abdullah Syed. He's done well to keep it in play. Will retrieve the ball by breaking the momentum. He saved a certain boundary.
Yeah, Abdullah Saeed, a regular right on that long on, long off area, as I mentioned earlier, on the boundaries as always. Very fine fielder.
That's through the gap as well. The sweeper cannot get to it. Excellently placed. Beautifully played. Imran Mazhar moves on to 22.
Looking to go after Malik Sohail Awan in this over, looking to get another big one.
The timing on that one was exquisite. And then comes the placement, of course. The importance of a boundary early on in the over. You could sense it. Gujranwala Wolves believe they're in the hunt. It's a matter of these two clicking. Salik Iqbal a couple away from 50. Imran Mazhar providing a lovely extra pair of hands that Salik would require to get towards the target. Required rate 10.6. It's been brought under control. Good adjustment by Malik. Watches the batter charge towards him. Pulls the length back a little, but not the pace. Seven runs of the first three. Gujranwala Wolves looking for at least another boundary in this over to be at par with the required rate. The slower delivery which sort of so loopy it was. The batter was absolutely confused when to offer the bat to it. Salik Iqbal ended up swiveling but making no contact whatsoever. It's a very well disguised slower delivery because the arm speed did not change.
Yeah, and sometimes it's deliveries like that can yield very good results, because as a batsman, who would ever expect a ball like that? This one a lot better connection. But again, straight to Abdullah Saeed with just a single. For the New York Diamonds, you won't mind 7-8 runs and over. As long as Malik Sohail Awan can finish this over without any further damage, that being a boundary, I'm sure the Diamonds will take it.
That's in the air, but will land safely. Will go through a point as well. The boundary has come by, perhaps not in the most convincing manner, but a boundary nonetheless. 2 fours in that over. Gujranwala make up to what was required for the required rate to come down. 86 required in the last 48 balls, 97 for 3.
Just by looking at some of these overs here for the Gujranwala Wolves, you can see that they do quite well to really rotate the strike, keep the ones and twos coming. But it's just 1 or 2 balls in the over. 1 or 2 bad balls they tend to put away, or it may not necessarily be a bad ball. We've seen Salik Iqbal has hit some good balls out of the ground, and Imran Mazhar playing a good hand as well.
Gets to his half century in the quietest way possible. Knocks off a single. Salik gets to a well compiled half century and keeps the belief alive for Gujranwala Wolves to hunt down this target. Has been a part of a lovely partnership as well, which itself is approaching the same milestone. And as Matt rightly pointed out, Salik Iqbal and Imran Mazhar, ever since they got together in the middle, they've concentrated a lot on singles to ensure that the dot balls are just not there to be seen. That's in the air once again, but it's in the gap too. What's the risk? If you can thrive on the width you get. Boundary again early on in the over. 6 of the first 3. Game on.
One or 2 bad balls, that's enough. 2 bad balls go for 6, that's 12 and over. You could go 4 dot balls after that, but you've still gone for 12 in the over. And that's what the Diamonds will have to keep in mind here.
Absolutely true, Matt. Now we're talking about the dot ball percentage. Now Salik Iqbal, when he got started, yes, he was a little slow, but he's made up very nicely. And ever since these two got together, now that will be a dot ball. These two got together. Look at Imran Mazhar, so busy a cricketer. Just 2 dot balls. 8 singles for him in his route to 28. And two twos and 4 lovely boundaries.
And it seems as if the Gujranwala Wolves have been listening to us, because they always, like I mentioned, between the overs, it's just that one or two boundaries they get each over.
Much on the right. He's moved too much on the right, and the ball will sneak through the left. The second line of defense would be sweeper, who believed he can get there. We'll wait for the umpire's signal if he's flirted too much with the boundary cones.
77, साथ में.
He's done all right there. Should have been stopped. Should have been a dot ball. End of the over. 77 required in 42. 106 for 3. 50 partnership comes up.
We've seen Salek Iqbal and Imran Mazar utilize that cut shot very well. They've been using it to their advantage, getting that cut shot away, or even if they don't get all of it, just getting that slice, which is enough. It's been a very high trafficking area, but you've got to say the fielding in that particular region has been less than stellar.
I think New York Diamonds can pride themselves with their fielding effort today. Now we get more time as Malik Sohail Avans called this delivery off. The fielding effort has been excellent, isn't it? Especially when the ball is being cut away. We've seen so many boundaries being stopped. I think between these two teams, if the difference has to be at the end of 13 overs, how many deliveries were drifting down the leg side.
Burhan Saeed returns.
That's a great title for a movie.
Imran Mazar. How good has Imran Mazar been? He's played a very crucial innings of 30 of 17. He's taken the pressure away from Salek Iqbal. Yes, you want Salek Iqbal to face as many deliveries as possible because he is the man in form at the moment. But so many times in doing so, you put a lot of added pressure on a player like Salek Iqbal. Imran Mazar has come in, has not accumulated any dot balls, only 2 of them in his innings so far, has really kept things moving and has hit 4 boundaries.
You mentioned the 2 dot balls only. Just tells you how busy a player he is, and that sort of helps when you're chasing a target with the required red 10 and 11. Can he slow things up here? That's a good slower delivery, but he's creamed it straight down the ground. Excellent shot for 6. The 6 is also coming at the right time. Every time in the first 3 balls, the bowler's got to be wary if the singles are being taken in the first 2, because their Wolves will pounce on the third one.
Yes, Salek Iqbal, man that loves to hit straight. Not going to miss out on that opportunity. 5 sixes to his name throughout this innings of 62. Takes the score up to 114 for 3. They need 69 from 39 deliveries. Game on, well and truly. As long as Mazar and Salek Iqbal are there, Gujranwala Wolves still have a chance.
And just what was expected. He knows he's got the boundary under his belt in this over. Playing according to the merit now. Not trying to improvise. That is the sign of a batter so mature like Salek Iqbal. 63 or 43 for him as the partnership moves on to 60. 9 of the first 4. Make it more. Just show him the maker's name. We'll wait for the umpire signal on this one. Where exactly did it fall? Very marginal, a boundary signal. Sometimes 2 runs could mean a matter of inches.
Yeah, it really can. But this is turning out to be a very big over for the Gujranwala Wolves. And given Burhan Saeed came into this over 2 overs, none for 4, he's gone for 13 in it. They've really looked to target him.
Oh, very well done. Moving across. There will be protection in the deep. 2 for the taking. End of the over. 1-2-1 for 3. Adil Bhatti is going to roll his arm over. The captain's decided to take matters into his own hands to try and break this partnership. 66 at the moment. And Matt, it's going to be quite surprising, this move.
Yes, surprising indeed to introduce a new bowler coming into a pressure situation in the 15th over. But a player like Adil Bhatti, with his experience, you feel he can introduce himself at any point in the game and he can deliver the goods.
Adil Bhatti taking his own sweet time to set the field. Very wide long off. Very wide long on. Not, in fact, comparatively less wide to what we've seen in 2 days. Full toss to start with. Abdullah would be in business as he scurried towards his left. But 10 yards towards his left to get the throw in. Eventually he's kept it down to a single. Single to start with.
61 to win from 35 deliveries. Mazar on 37. But clearly Adil Bhatti may not be fully fit, because it seems to be he's bowling leg spin today.
And he's yet to land the ball on that surface. 2 deliveries, 2 full tosses. Oh, beautifully done. Work to do for the sweeper. Not sure he'll get there in time. Boundary collected. Again, the 3rd delivery of the over has been dispatched to the fence. Gujranwala Wolves are finding their route. They're finding their route now. 56 more required in 33. It's game on with this partnership blooming to 72. And Salik Iqbal looking solid as ever.
Salik Iqbal moves up to 58 with that boundary. The progress that the Gujranwala Wolves have made in this innings.
Beautifully placed. Will pick up a single. That makes it 7. 7 of the first 4.
Partnership of 73. These two have batted very, very well. Adil Bhatti, obviously not himself today in terms of bowling.
That's a very good delivery. Just the right pace at which you can trouble the batter as well. Wanted to play a late cut, but the ball zoots past him. That got some rip as well. This time slightly short. Work to do for a man at deep backward square. Will Scotty towards his left and keep it down to a single. This is a good comeback by the captain himself, Bhatti. End of the over, 1-2-9 for 3.
One of the rare dot balls we've seen today to Imran Mazar.
That's in the air. That should be the case. Yes, it is. Omar Hanif has ensured that he's picked up a wicket. It's the softest dismissal of a hitter so hardcore. The partnership has come to an end. And that is exactly what the men in blue required here. The New York Diamonds, they found another shining diamond in Omar.
Yeah, grabs his third wicket today. He's been very good. Has caused problems here for the Gujranwala Wolves. And breaks the partnership, breaks a very strong partnership. 74 between Mazar and Salik Iqbal. Mazar goes for 39. 129 for 4.
Dot ball and a wicket in this over. And we'll top it off with a 6. What a shot. This is incredible. This is the way to announce your arrival.
Yeah, first ball 6. No better way to get off the mark than that. And to take on one of the best bowlers we've seen today, Umar Hanif.
Watches this one go. Will be wide. 7 now of the over. Little bit of pressure on Omar Hanif. He's picked up a wicket and he suddenly realizes that the new batter he's bowled to is striking it crisply. That takes courage to hit the first one out of the park. Usman goes again. It's a slower delivery. It's hanging up in the air. Fielder getting underneath. Will not pouch it. was not looking settled enough to have pouched it.
Yeah, was never in a position. Never in a position you seem to get under it and complete the catch. But Usman Ali has come out guns blazing, has not been afraid to take on the bowling so far.
8 runs. Now 9 rather. 9 runs of the over and a wicket. Make it more. That's got height. That's only got height. Work to do. Griffith. It's very difficult for him to get it land safely. Griffith and Captain Bhatti were steaming towards each other with only one objective. Try and grab the ball before it touches grass. Neither of them could get in time. Griffith was quicker than what would have happened if he would have called a noob, to be very honest. Wow. Very, very lucky there. Usman Ali. Oh, good delivery. Followed the batter. He's also lost the bat, so he can't run. If he does, then he's missing at least a good 20 inches that the bat would also help him when he drags. A tight run is usually not taken when you don't have the bat in hand. Usman Ali, 9 of 3. He's keeping the dream alive. 139 for 4. $139 for 4. The required rate has touched 11. But Usman Ali has provided the glimpses of what he can do. He can send the ball a long, long way. Gujranwala Wolves, they wanted that extra bit of luck, and that's exactly what they got. And the New York Diamonds, they've got to keep the shoulders up. They can't let it droop. A half-hearted appeal from the bowler, but the keeper was more interested. Again, from that angle, it's difficult to decipher. For us to say how close it was, leg by signalled. It's got to be one more over of leg spin from Adil Bhatti, but he hasn't been bowling the leg spinners. He's been bowling the ones which come off the front of the hand as well. Oh, excellent shot indeed. No chance for the fielder in the deep. He'll only go to retrieve. Again, a boundary early on in the over.
Yeah, and Salik Iqbal taking charge. 39 from 22 deliveries. All of a sudden, you feel that equation isn't so difficult anymore. If you have a set man, and Salik Iqbal's showing no signs of letting up at the moment. Going after Adil Bhatti again.
$39 of 22. Full toss, straight down the ground. Abdullah gets around it. A one-handed effort, a clean pick-up and a throw in a single swift motion. That's the athleticism that we are talking about. Labor Day T20 Cup, we haven't been short of action. We haven't been short of athleticism. Mature cricket. Running between the wickets, you have it all. If you're a cricket connoisseur, Brooklyn Marine Park is a place to be. If not, you can go to 88 as well.
Yeah, action happening all around the Brooklyn area. 37 from 20 deliveries. Salik Iqbal on strike.
A work to do for the fielder at deep backward square, scurrying towards his left. Gets around the ball, but by the time the dispatch is done, the second run's complete. Bit of a misfield, but still saved a valuable couple. Adil Bhatti has been a touch expensive, reason being no dot balls, and at this stage I think he's getting into the mode of let's restrict the opponents rather than let's pick up wickets. And it's that there comes the dot ball. There comes the dot ball, and it's much required. Adil Bhatti finishes on a high. 35 required of the last three. 148 for 4.
So Umar Hanif will bowl his fourth and final over 3 for 26. So far has been the pick of the bowlers from the New York Diamonds. Comes into bowl a very important over and starts off with a very important dot ball.
Well executed in the end. Umar Hanif, he's got a relaxed approach and well, that didn't bounce. The keeper had to put some glove on it and that's what he did. Immediately the glove comes off as well as he gets ready to get the throw in case they start to run. Salik Iqbal and Usman Ali. Salik Iqbal, what an innings he's playing. 76 for 51. He's the one who's kept them in the hunt along with Imran Mazhar while he was out there. 39 of 25, taking the pressure off Salik. Now 35 of 16. It's still possible with Usman Ali striking it cleanly. Just like that, man in the deep. Will he be in business? Looks like he will. The catch is complete. Usman Ali has to depart. A big twist in the tail.
Umar Hanif picks up his fourth wicket, 4 for 26 from him. And Usman Ali, one of the victims of Trevon Griffith. You don't hit a ball to Trevon Griffith and expect to get away with it. Simple catch for him in the end. And Umar Hanif, what an over this is. 3 dot balls, one of them, the wicket of Usman Ali. He goes for 10.
He's keeping the pressure on. 2 dot balls from Umar Hanif. Something had to give. Usman Ali goes for the glory shot. Doesn't get it from the best part of the bat. Got height but not distance. Good pouch by Griffith.
So this game is
Very well, very warm welcome. It's Lenny back in the comm box. And little did we realize, I was looking the other way, looking at the fielder. One generation gives way to the other.
thanks, Sohas.
The opposite manner.
So this game is a lot closer than we were thinking. 35 to win from 15 balls.
He's got him! A 1-ball visitor. Umar Hanif is on a hat-trick. He's kept it straight, simple and slow when it matters the most. The man who's holding his nerve better. What a turnaround.
So another wicket goes down. Umar Hanif all of a sudden not too sure, Sohas, if you've seen a hat-trick in the tournament. But we are almost there. Umar Hanif only needs another wicket here. And things are falling apart here for the Wolves. They're batting of 148 for 6. 35 needed from 14 balls.
Has given nothing away and picked up 2 wickets. Umar Hanif, he has answered above and beyond his call of duty. Fantastic in his spell. A fifer for Umar Hanif in a big game of this kind. Take a bow, Umar. And he has a chance of picking up a hat-trick as well.
Yeah, hat-trick are very rare in all forms of cricket.
I'm not too sure during the course of Umar Hanif's playing career, from when he was a childhood, how many hat-trick he would have taken. I'm pretty sure he has. And so Rizwan Akram is going to be the man. And usually, Sohas, we see when big accomplishments are made by cricketers, they need someone to really contribute to the story, to contribute to the narrative. If he gets a hat-trick here while his name is called, Rizwan Akram's name will also be mentioned.
That's one way to look at it. There was an edge, but the edge will be so fine that it'll go for 4. Those are the first runs in the over as well.
Yeah, we've seen a very good knock from Saleh Iqbal, and from the look of things, you never know where this will end up. 31 from 13 balls. But we've seen the lower order from time to time. You swing bat, you never know what can happen. And the game comes down to 31 needed from 13 balls. Omar Hanif with a couple of wickets in this over. Rizwan Akram, ball peels off the edge. He picks up 4. And it's all happening here at Marine Park. Pitch, let us see. Out in Brooklyn.
The importance of Saleh Iqbal is immense. He's a set batter. He's got to guide the team home. He's put in the hard yards of bringing them to this position. Now with the captain, can he bat through? Would be tired legs, 76 of 51. Remember that, and he's taken a lot of singles, 18 of them, and 4 doubles as well. And he's run a lot of runs for the other batter as well when he was batting with Imran Mazhar, who loves to take singles. He wants a second run. Saleh Iqbal wants the second. This has been an innings which has tested temperament, which has tested fitness, but Saleh Iqbal has come out on top so far.
So 18 gone, it's 153 for 6. And 30 to win from 12 balls. Saleh Iqbal still out in the middle. Backed up by Rizwan Akram. So it's 153 for 6. So Trevon Griffith comes into the attack. Couple of overs remaining. And he starts well. Ball tapped into the offside Sohas. Good defensive shot for only a single and brings Saleh Iqbal. Can he bring this home? 29 from 11.
Saleh Iqbal, man of the moment for Gujranwala Wolves. He's a lone wolf who's batted so well to have put them in the situation. We'll take it on the bounce there. Abdullah Saeed never looked interested to try and go for the catch. The single has been called off. Lenny, now that's interesting. That is sending a statement to the opposition that A, the captain's not good enough to score the boundaries, and secondly, he's going to take it upon himself to score 29 runs.
Well, like that, he can do it. Could be one bounce. We'll wait and see from umpire Charles. And she goes for 4. So that's a good looking shot from Saleh Iqbal. 25 needed from 9 balls. And Griffith has gone for 5 in the over. A lovely shot from Saleh Iqbal. He continues to bat well. He goes up to 80. And they're 25 away from probably an upset here. As the New York Diamond, very well put together squad. They've produced the results. And the Wolves, 25 runs away from a win. Can they achieve that? 9 balls remaining.
Pressure. Now again will not take the single. He believes he has another boundary ball coming up in the next 2. Saleh Iqbal. What an innings he's playing.
Well, he's up to 80 from 54 balls. Batted extremely well. 6 4s and 5 6s. That tells a story.
Mr. Dependable for a reason. Full toss. He's miscued this one. He's got to go for the single this time. It's not like he's batting with the tail ender. He's batting with the skipper.
Should have done a little bit more with a full toss. When you're looking for those boundaries, Sohas. Should have taken him out of the park. We know in T20 cricket, in the shorter version of the game, you've got to put away A, all the loose balls. And then B, you've got to put away even the good balls.
So true, Lenny, in the way you call it. Excellent indeed. The last delivery coming up, 24 to win. How many will they leave for themselves in the last over, the Gujranwala Wolves? Griffith does well. That's got only height. Doesn't even clear the 30-yard circle. Very reluctantly, the single will be taken. The score moves on to 160 for 6. 23 required of the last 6.
Yeah, the fact is Salek Iqbal was trying to farm the strike and retain all the strike, but by giving up the single, Rizwan Akram will be on strike. 160 for 6. And so 23 needed in the last over. The Wolves taking on the Diamonds here. Lots of cricket left in this Labor Day Cup, T20 Cup. Playoff games maybe later on this afternoon, semi-finals tomorrow, and then the grand final right here in Marine Park.
.23 required of the last over. Captain Rizwan will face. Just get a feeling that Gujranwala Wolves have missed out on an opportunity in the previous over. He could have taken the single, because in hindsight that full toss wasn't dispatched. But 23 of 6. That's a well hit shot, but straight to Syed Abdullah. At a very wide-ish long off. Will pick up a single. Now 5 deliveries, 22 to get Lenny. What are the options here for Salek? The ball will be moving away from the right-hander with the angle. Burhan Saeed has been planning that for a while. I'm very surprised the third man still inside the circle, because there's always a chance of running it down to third man for 4.
Yes, Suhas, and I want to think that the bowlers does have some bit of advantage here. 22 to win from 5 balls, not an easy task. And a wicket that I've seen, not with very good bunks.
It's got him. The change in pace has worked. Salek is gone, throwing the kitchen sink at it, only to realize that one stump is missing. That is the end of a phenomenal effort. A man with a big heart has to walk back for 81 without putting his team against a W.
So 56 ball 81 comes to an end. And it comes to a very brave end, Sohas. He needed 22 from the last 5 balls. And Burhan Saeed comes back with a good ball onto the stumps, pegged the off stump out of the ground. And 161 for 7. It looks like New York Diamonds will pull through here.
New York Diamonds have kept their calm. Yes, there were overs which did not go according to plan. But in the bigger moments, New York Diamonds have fielded better and now are bowling extremely well. Burhan Saeed decides to have the third man up in the circle and delivers a straight ball and a good slower delivery to bring the end of what has been a sensational innings, enough to be invited into the dugout. This dugout will absolutely invite this man. It's been an extremely pleasing knock. Take a bow, Salek Iqbal. 81 of 56. But just not enough on the day. 22 required of 4. You never know.
And it just goes to show, had Umar Farouk contributed something better than what he did, how close this game has come down to. 22 in the last 4 balls. Fahad Kabir comes to the middle. And Burhan Saeed has picked up his first wicket. And that wicket has come at a very good time. The big wicket of Salek Iqbal, who got 81 in the process, batted extremely well. And now we come down to the last 4 balls remaining. Burhan Saeed with some bit of advantage. And bowling to a new man, Fahad Kabir.
One way or the other, he's getting the much needed boundary. There's no time to hang around, get the runs, or go home. It's that kind of a story for Gujranwala Wolves. They're preferring the former. 5 runs and a wicket in this over. Still in the hunt, 18 of 3. All of the balls need to have an appointment beyond the cone.
It's interesting how close T20 games comes down to. You take it for granted when
in the earlier stages and also in the lull in the middle. Overs number 8 to overs number 14 in T20 game. It appears nothing happens there. But it all comes down to the next 18 runs from 3 balls.
Lenny, what do you suggest to the batter at this stage? It's see the ball, hit the ball. It's all going down to basics. Or should he pre-aim something and try and look for the gap by going inside out?
Well, he's done well. Force ball 4.
Or the low, slow delivery has worked wonders as it's put the game in the pockets of New York Diamonds. 2 legal deliveries and they'll advance in the tournament. Bhatti knows and he's suggesting keep your nerves calm, we're almost there. What a tremendous innings this has been from Gujranwala Wolves, and what a tremendous innings it has been from Salik Iqbal while he was out there with Imran Mazhar to put them in this position.
So a win over Pak Punjab and Rebels, and they probably will add the Wolves here.
One more delivery of that kind. It's just a formality which is left. Probably there's some edge on it. The batter has started to walk, not waiting for the umpire to raise his finger. Gone. It's the 2nd wicket for Saeed, and he has been exceptional. Bowling well with a man who picked up a 5 for Hanif.
Well, wickets coming at a very crucial time here for Borhan Saeed. When you want to push a team back, looking for runs in the last over. And a couple of strikes in that over. Yeah, they may have surrendered here, but the game has been called. And so it's 165 for 8 with still a ball remaining.
Well, his partner wasn't fit enough to continue, it seems. That's the end of the game. A victory by a margin of 17 runs for New York Diamonds. The Diamonds shine on the big day. They advance in the tournament. Adil Bhatti would be mighty pleased with his effort of the boys, keeping their calm under pressure situations. The heart goes out to Salik Iqbal, who believed that he can put his team beyond the line. Batted well with his captain, but needed extra pair of hands there, as his captain wasn't timing the ball well on the big day. Imran Mazhar stitched up a good partnership, but not good enough on the big day. Congratulations for the team who turned up in blue and white Diamonds. They shine through and get another chance for glory tomorrow. That's all we have for you from the first game. I'm Suhas Vedam, was joined by Lenny and New York's very own voice of cricket, Matt. We'll join you in the second game very shortly with another cracker in our hands. Stay with us.